Yo, 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 yo. Back, we back, we back. We back, we back, we back. We back. Nah, we do. Nah, we do and we do it. Nah, we do and we do it. That like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Devon Park Heights in the building. Park Heights in the building. What it is, man. Man, we gotta get Wack 100 over here, man. Hey, yo, I ain't never gonna let him let that down, yo. He is not gonna be able to escape that shit long as I'm on the internet. I promise you. I just wanna know why. You know what I mean? What you call that man name for, bro? I don't think I have him too much. Y'all, we got a good one today, though. I'm gonna show y'all something funny. So yesterday, right? Remember yesterday? That shit hot as a bitch. Can't drink this right now. Remember yesterday when we was talking about I was talking about Wack 100 lied and how he set Luce Cannon up. That whole no jumper fight was a setup by Wack 100. Y'all remember I was talking about that? Let me show y'all something funny. I don't mind though, so I ain't mad. But it's funny as a motherfucker. See the point and shoot, man. It's like a point and shoot be taking my thoughts and turn them bitches into videos. You hear me? Wait till everybody get it here. Y'all know we early for real. But y'all, it's like he be taking my thoughts. He be turning, point and shoot be turning my thoughts into videos, man. Before I even do it. Second time I caught him doing this, man. Y'all remember that? Wait till everybody get in. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Yesterday, it was either yesterday or the day before. When Wack 100 was talking about how Luce Cannon beat the guy up on at no jumper, and how he tried to save the day and what he could have did. And I'm like, yo, he the one set it up. So then, remember on that same video, we went to what up, y'all? That same video. My bad. All right, that's better. So in that same video, we went into I was trying to find his first explanation as to how all that shit kicked off. It was about a phone call. Remember, I couldn't find it. So we went to a Vlad TV interview. And I'm like, yo, that's not what Joe said. Like, yo, he telling different stories. So Point and Shoot did a video explaining everything I was saying yesterday, which is crazy. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how the fuck my thoughts appear on his page, but it is what it is. I ain't even tripping, man. You know why I ain't tripping, though? Because Point and Shoot be going after the same people I go after. The fuck boys. I don't give a fuck if he a white boy or not. He go after the same clowns that I go after. And sellouts that I go after. So, I support what he did. You feel me? Let everybody get in here, y'all. So y'all know what I'm talking about. And then we got Meek Mill. Meek Mill say, man, ain't nobody rob him. He said he ain't get extorted off nothing. People making up stories. And Famous Richard said, be a young boy, a rat. So Famous Richard said, that like button, y'all. 14 people, no likes. 1 like, 2 likes, like button. Especially if it's the normal crew. Famous Richard said, be a young boy, a rat. What's up, homie? Oh yeah, Boosie spoke about the what's it called? We got a lot to talk about today for real. Remember that story I covered yesterday? Where the story I covered yesterday, right? It was a girl missing, and her father supposed to kidnapped her. Well, they found the little girl, and shit is bad. We living in some wild times, y'all. When you kidnap your man, it's crazy, crazy. So we gotta check that out too. I think that's about it for real. Let's get busy. Yo, share the live, y'all. Hit the like button. They probably not sending out notifications. You know how they do. We should have way more people on here already. No reason why we only got 17 people on here, YouTube. Stop playing dumbass games. Some thug or clown. I don't like y'all. I don't like him. Think he's a goofball. Think he's a goofball. Sean Kingston trial starting. Matter of fact, I want to check this out first. Speak to this guy right here, man. This guy right here, right? Before we get to anything. My bad, y'all. I thought he did a video on it. Oh, fuck it. Well, he built a castle in the hood of Detroit. Shorty built a castle, y'all. Oh, Detroit. Man built a fucking castle in the city.
Monica, one of the worst things about bankruptcy was watching all those outsiders in fancy suits take our money and tell us.
Hold up. Trying to show y'all this shit. Did y'all see that house? The dude built a castle. He built a castle in the middle of the hood. Yeah, I know. It is a little wild that he responding now. It is a little wild he responding now. That man been saying he robbed you for a while now. See, yeah, but the thing is, right? Niggas get robbed, yo. I mean, now extorted, that's a whole nother thing. But you on their home turf, you really at a disadvantage. You know, they really take advantage of the fact that you at a disadvantage. I can't even find the dude shit, yo. I thought he did a YouTube video detailing, showing people the house. Let me see something. Well, let me show y'all how it look right here. It was a video. I can't find it. Look. So it started like that. Then it turned into this. Now he got like a whole, that shit like 4 blocks. One time, what it do? Y'all ain't see yo dude named Charles E. Brooks. Like the shit nice as a motherfucker. Thought he had a video explaining it, but can't find it. It's a lot on the internet right now. But let me take y'all to this first, y'all. So remember we covered that story about the father that kidnapped his daughter? Look at this shit. Cameron tripping, man. Cameron said he had more money than AZ.
News out of Columbus. Details are becoming more clear just throughout
animal that came into our town.
The last half hour or so. Police say there that they shot a man believed to be the father of a Toledo teen, Kimani Lateef. Her body found in an abandoned home yesterday. Her father, Darnell Jones, wanted for her murder. Police haven't officially named the person that officers shot. I do want to reiterate that. Police have not officially named the person that officers shot. But this is what the head of the Fraternal Order of Police had to say just moments ago. I do want to warn you, the details might be disturbing to hear.
I think he will get stabbed eventually.
It was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody. Our SWAT team will go out looking for you. This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was murdered, had her hands and her throat almost. This is an absolute.
Yo, do y'all hear this shit? This bitch ass nigga did that shit to his fucking daughter, man. Hey, what the fuck is wrong with people? Did y'all hear what he just said? I'm gonna let it run back one more time, just in case y'all missed it.
Breaking news out of Columbus. Details are becoming more clear just throughout the last half hour or so. Police say there that they shot a man believed to be the father of a Toledo teen, Kimani Lateef. Her body found in an abandoned home yesterday. Her father, Darnell Jones, wanted for her murder. Police haven't officially named the person that officers shot. I do want to reiterate that. Police have not officially named the person that officers shot, but this is what the head of the Fraternal Order of Police had to say just moments ago. I do want to warn you, the details might be disturbing to hear.
Was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody. Our SWAT team will go out looking for you. This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was murdered, had her hands and her throat almost. This is an absolute
news out of Columbus.
This nigga is crazy. I wish they'd have let him live.
Very intense there. And I would also like to note that the Toledo Police Department has not confirmed the details that you just heard. We are asking questions, though. We're also told that the man police shot is in the hospital and his condition has been stabilized. I know that we're throwing a lot of details at you here. We are online as well. Make sure you're sticking with us both on air and online and on our news app for updates to this breaking story. We will continue to keep you.
They're going to tear his ass up in the joint.
Told to me that he was her biological father. However, her biological mother has told me on several occasions that he is not. So I don't know what to believe, but I know that he was present. He's been more present than the biological mom. And I feel deceived. Like, you played for so long in my face, like you was her dad, like you really had her best interests at heart. But where is she?
However, it's very important to note that we caught up with Kimani's mother earlier today, and she says that the grandmother is telling a completely different story from the truth. So we're going to continue digging into the details, and we'll bring you the latest as soon as we can. But
told to me,
I think her on the 15th. Her dad brought her down to my house, and apparently my mother gave him permission. And honestly, it was just me living on my kid. You know, we played video games. We played. We talk mess. You know, that's what we do. We roast each other, all types of stuff. But it's all love. I think her on the 15th.
And that's some sick ass shit,
her dad brought her down to my house.
So, yo, that is some sick ass shit, yo. What the fuck is wrong with yo, man? I hope he survived. He survived. He make it to the motherfucking joint. Man, that shit gonna get crazy. It say, let me read this article. So look, a teacher at her school tried to warn CPS that was going on. So it says this might be one of the sad stories on the internet. He even tried to cut her hands off and slice her neck after a student at Spring Elementary School was just days away from her 14th birthday. A spokesman for Toledo Public Schools said she was going to be given a kindness award later this week. The team was also recently recognized as the school honor roll assembly. Excuse me. The new developments came just hours after we learned the teen's father, Darnell Jones, 33, was charged with abduction on Sunday. After investigators found her body, Toledo police announced Monday night that Jones is now charged with murder in the teen's death. Court documents show there's an open warrant for his arrest. Affidavit alleges Jones was the last person to see Kimani before she went missing. She has allegedly given inconsistent statements about the activity. Hold up, yo. Let's go to the real story. Kimani. Yo, that's fucking sick, yo. Living in a sick ass world, man. I spell that shit right. K-E-I-M-A-N-A. Sick bastard. Grandma speaks. Latest update. This was 6 hours ago. Let's see what the fuck this say.
How many credit cards do you have right now?
I have.
Hey, I don't know what the fuck going on, Infinite. Like, yo, this shit getting weird out here, man. Like, yo, this not, yo, we don't tip, yo, like, yo, when we start doing shit like this. Like, yo, we ain't used to do shit like this. Like, this type of stuff was like, nah, hell no. But man, shit getting weird, man.
This afternoon, as we learn more about the death of a Toledo 13-year-old Kimani Lateef.
In the past few hours, the Lucas County coroner ruled her death a homicide, saying she died from multiple cuts to her neck. We also know her father, Darnell Jones, is in a Columbus hospital after being shot by a SWAT officer around 10 a.m. today. It's still unclear who fired first. Columbus police say he's expected to recover and no officers were injured.
Police aren't sure why he was in Columbus, but did confirm Columbus SWAT was looking into him for at least 2 days. Jones is already facing murder charges in Kimani's death. Her body was found yesterday in an abandoned and burned out home on Miami Street in East Toledo. Here's what police in Columbus had to say about the case, which is very disturbing.
This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was murdered, raped, had her hands cut off, and her throat almost cut off. This is an absolute animal that came into our town.
Damn,
again, he's in the hospital after being shot. No word on when he'll be brought back to Toledo. He's also facing more charges out of Columbus. Now, we do have live team coverage on this tragic case. Silver Barker has been in talks with Kimani's family all day long, and Megan Hartnett has been on a local group who knows all too well the pain the family is feeling.
Plus, we're also learning more about what's to come of the abandoned home, where she was found. First, though, we do want to start with Silver. Silver, what did you hear today from her family?
Yes, well, I spoke with Kimani's grandmother, Dorothy Lateef, who tells me she's been in custody of Kimani for at least the past year. She's been her legal guardian. She wanted to address some of the rumors and speculation online about her being arrested yesterday. She says that it is not the case. That is not the case that she was arrested. And Toledo police have told us the same thing. She was not arrested. She was placed in handcuffs at her house and taken into custody. She and TPD say she was placed into handcuffs for her own safety. She says she is currently scared for her safety, with lots of people threatening to blow up her home and do things to her.
Yeah, I heard that before too.
People from the neighborhood that contacted me and said that there was a mob in front of my house and they were talking about what they were going to do to me once I came home. So the police, the detectives said that she would have a unit come out and help me get my things and more or less escort me off the property. I asked to be handcuffed just so they can get the away from my property.
Now, I also spoke with Kimani's aunt, who addressed a few things as well. At 5, I'll have more of that. Reporting live here in Toledo, Silver Barker, WTOL 11.
All right, Silver, thank you. We were able to confirm today Kimani was a student at Spring Elementary. TPS telling us the counselors were at the school yesterday and again today to help students and employees cope with this tragedy. The district also tells us 2 therapy dogs were at the school.
School officials also wanted to point out that Kimani will be remembered as being a very personable student and someone who got along well with others. She was also recently recognized at the school's honor roll assembly and was going to be given a kindness award later this week.
Well, in a tragic situation like this, it can be difficult for parents to navigate talking to their kids about what happened to Kimani Lateef.
Megan Hartnett joins us in the newsroom after talking with an organization about how parents should handle this. Megan, so how should parents approach a difficult situation like this?
Parents need to gauge what level of information their kids can handle first. A representative from the Parents of Murdered Children organization says it's important to create a safe space for kids to ask questions and learn as much as they want. Some kids may not feel comfortable learning about a murder, while others will want to know a lot. I was told parents should be honest and not make it seem like it isn't something a kid should be asking about. There is a lot of information on the news and a lot being posted on social media about Kimani's death, so it's up to parents to monitor what information their kids are consuming.
There will be a lot. And what are their kids listening to? What are they hearing from this? And what are they taking from what others are putting out there, socially, that, the kids don't know what happened. And they're, kids and adults.
Crazy, yo.
We're all going to just kind of use our minds and focus on what do we think happened. And
I'm
all
glad
these
he
stories
survived,
come out.
though. Cause they gonna tear his ass up wherever he
Representatives
go
from
at.
parents of murdered children
Hey,
say parents should limit social media and focus on having conversations or seeking professional counseling for kids, especially as details are still coming out about what happened. Reporting in the newsroom, Megan Hartnett, WTOL 11.
All right, Megan, thank you. And City of Toledo crews did go out to the home on Miami Street today where Kimani's body was found. They cleaned up around the home so people can safely stop by and pay their respects to Kimani.
We saw several people come by throughout the day, including some who are very familiar with losing someone close to them so suddenly.
Trumped up ass Rico.
I feel hurt.
He sent his ass to the face.
I've lost somebody in the city of Toledo that's been so dear, is so dear to me. And I feel like she kind of became part of Toledo.
She said it was important to her to come out and say a prayer for Kimani, even though she didn't personally know her.
WTOL 11 was at the vigil last night to remember Kimani, and there is another one planned for later tonight. An event posted on social media says people are going to gather outside the home on Miami Street about 6:15 tonight. We plan to be there again this evening, and we'll have a live report for you on WTOL 11 News at 11.
Damn, that's deep, y'all. That's fucked up, y'all. There's some fucked up people in this world, y'all. Like, for real. There's some fucked up people in this world. Who the fuck is this person? That's the grandmother. They need to lock all their asses up. Everybody played a role. But let me show y'all what the school said. So this teacher said, I was her teacher. She told us she didn't feel safe. She told us she was terrified to go home. We all saw the marks, bruises, injuries. We made multiple reports to CPS trying to get her the help she desperately needed to keep her safe. All of our voices were left unheard. CPS should be held accountable. We told them over and over. Damn, yo, that's crazy. See, yo, that be that bullshit, right? Because CPS, they be fucking with parents that don't deserve to be fucked with. But you got these type of situations, and they don't do shit. Y'all remember one time, y'all, my son, right? My son used to eat everything. You know what I mean? When he was a kid and shit. So I got in a car accident and I had some Flexerols, muscle relaxers. Yo, tell me why he ate all the muscle relaxers. Man, I don't even know how many of them it was. Yo, when I got to the fucking hospital, CPS came down that bitch, they was grilling this shit out. I'm like, oh, I ain't give my fucking child no motherfucking muscle relaxer. But you got these type of situations where it's evidence, it's proof. You got people calling in and they do nothing. They do nothing. Like, yo, this shit be crazy, yo. Like, yo, CPS is a fucking joke.
We go to the latest on the investigation. We're working to gather more information about a shooting in Columbus this morning that may be connected to Kimani's murder investigation. The president of the Columbus Fraternal Order of Police says a man who was shot by SWAT this morning is wanted for a murder of a teenage girl here in Toledo. However, neither he nor a spokesperson for Columbus Police would confirm if that man is Darnell Jones. Here's what the FOP president had to say.
When I heard about this case, this was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody. Our SWAT team will go out looking for you.
We are working right now to confirm if the man shot this morning is Darnell Jones. He's wanted for the murder of 13-year-old Kimani Lateague. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. And just a short time ago, our Silver Barker exclusively interviewed Kimani's grandmother and legal guardian, and then Kimani's aunt.
If she was a legal guardian, how the fuck did Joe get her?
So my first question for you.
She need to get locked up too.
Yesterday, lots of things was going on.
Everybody
we want to know specifically at your home. There was a lot of speculation online that you were being arrested, but when we checked with police, that was not the case. So can you further clarify on exactly what did happen yesterday at your home?
Well, I was called and told that there was a mob of people in front of my house. They were angry. It was more or less the people that were here earlier waiting to see if it was Kimani that was in the home. And basically some people from the neighborhood had contacted me and said that there was a mob in front of my house and they were talking about what they were going to do to me once I came home. So the police, the detective said that she would have a unit come out and help me get my things and more or less escort me off the property. I asked to be handcuffed just so they can get the away from my property.
Are you scared?
So no, I was never arrested. I was taken downtown, but I was never arrested.
Yo, she needs to be arrested.
Safety right now?
I am.
What are some of the things that you've been hearing and receiving from people?
They said they was gonna blow up my house. They said they was gonna do harm to me. It's just been a barrage of the different things that they've been stating.
What's up, Bob?
And now, yesterday, or let's backtrack first for a little bit. So you are the guardian of
Kimani. Man, make sure y'all tap in the Raw Day podcast.
I am the legal guardian of Kimani.
Okay, so in terms of taking care of her, when was Kimani placed under your care?
A year ago.
So you took care of her?
She's been in my home for the past 5.5 years, but I just obtained legal custody of her a year ago.
Were you and Kimani close?
We were.
What were some of the things, trying to think of her and paint a memory of her in a good light, right now with everything that's going on, what was Kimani like?
You had to,
about how Kimani was in the time that you've got to her.
Kimani was,
something ain't right,
she was phenomenal. Kimani was a helper. Like, she was older than what she appeared to be. Like, you know how they say somebody has an old soul? She was that. She loved older music. She loved playing video games. She loved the friends and family that she was allowed to be around. She played basketball for Spring Elementary. She was highly intelligent. So I'd like to clear up the mental issue statements. No, she was not mentally ill in any way.
She definitely on the defense. Look how she got her motherfucking arms crossed. That's definitely a defensive position.
We had her, assessed, and they didn't feel as if anything was wrong with her mentally. So that was not an issue. But back to Kimani, she would, like, say, for instance, someone would come over and they had children. They didn't have to worry about their kids because Kimani immediately embraced.
So the father, for people that just came in, the father kidnapped the child. I don't know if it's the father or not, because this shit is like confusing. The father kidnapped the child, yo. Arda cut her arms off, cut her hands off, and severed her throat. Now, she's supposed to be the legal guardian. I don't know how, I don't know what the fuck going on. I know something ain't right. For real.
Them.
It's like I'm more mad about the shit than she is. And that's supposed to be her granddaughter.
Will play with them, kid stuff. She was phenomenal. Like I said, she was like no other kid her age.
What school did Kimani go to?
She went to Spring Elementary.
And we were told that at that time she was doing good in school as well too, correct?
She was. She had brought her grade point average up from a 3.4 to a 3.9.
What's up, C-Hood?
And
over tax money?
Actually they were going to have an award ceremony for the basketball players today at 5:30, but when I divulged to them that she had passed, they've rescheduled it. She was going to receive her trophy for being, on the team and stuff.
And she has a birthday that's coming up. Right?
Her birthday is Friday.
And
She's starting to break down
She
now.
would have been 14.
Did you have any plans for her birthday?
We were going to have her a large birthday party because it would have been her first birthday where, once again, all of my children were together and could participate in the party. Her mom was supposed to come and everything. So I asked her early on, what type of party do you want? She said she wanted a basketball themed party. So that's what I bought.
Yeah,
things that revolved around her playing basketball. I'm still receiving stuff in the mail for that.
That's true.
So there's been some confusion now in terms of when it comes to family, you know, who's her biological father, who is her biological mother, and then also was she in the foster care system. Can you clear up a little bit of all of that? You know, when Kimani was placed in your care, you know, when is the LCCS, who exactly did she come from, and how did she?
She came from her other legal guardian. I choose not to state her name, but she came from her other legal guardian because the other legal guardian and I were best friends. The other legal guardian is my daughter, Kimani's mom, godmother. And we had already discussed when early on, because she's been with this person since she was 9 months old. My daughter has never really had custody of Kimani.
Yeah,
so she's been with this person since she was 9 months old until, like I said, maybe 5.5 years ago. Now, off and on, this person, we would interact and, you know, do different things with her, for her, or I would contact her and tell her, well, I need this, or Kimani would like that, and she would come by and oblige, and we would commence.
Something ain't right, y'all. Something ain't right about this shit. AC Hood, yo, where you hear that tax money shit at? I think it might be some validity to that, y'all. Where you heard that somewhere, or that's just your theory? Cause something ain't right. Something ain't right about this whole situation, y'all.
You mentioned when you were talking about what Kimani was like, you know, you had mentioned that when family members did come over, who were allowed around her. Can you expand on that? Is there family members that weren't allowed around her?
No, it's just not very many that came around. And those that did, you know, she acted, as far as I'm concerned, she acted accordingly. She embraced all children, bad or good.
Yeah, something ain't right, man.
Okay, next question.
So now we do know that Darnell, you know, people are looking for Darnell Jones right now. The police are looking for Darnell Jones, and there's an arrest warrant out for him. Do you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Oh, well, to my knowledge, he was just arrested in Columbus. He just recently had a shootout with the police in Columbus. They're saying that he confessed to her murder, and no, I take that back. They're saying that he confessed to her rape and slitting her throat.
Oh, God. Right.
How's it feel to learn that?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on out here, man?
I can't even say.
You know, as the police report mentions, Kimani was last seen with Darnell. You know, do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with, as you're her guardian, do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with Darnell?
I do, only because, like I said, I feel deceived. I feel like this was pre-planned. I feel like you meant to do this. I feel like you was grooming her.
When you say grooming her, is there things that you saw before this?
No, I never saw anything out the ordinary. But when molesters decide to choose prey, they groom you first.
Yo, this shit's crazy, yo. What the fuck?
They give you gifts. They try and make you comfortable with them. They try and say little things to you that you and they can keep secret, and then eventually they pounce. And that's how I feel. Oh God, Where how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
There's also comments, and we're just trying to address those and get those addressed. But there's comments online and speculation again that, Kimani, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, abuse in whose eyes?
Oh,
because she was not abused. Yes, she was chastised whenever she was wrong or did things wrong. Other than that, she was not abused. She was not just whooped for no reason or just because I felt like it.
Oh yeah, she going to jail.
I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy. And they came in, they did a case study and closed it. They've stated there's a way to chastise children without physically harming them. You need to whoop them on their behind, nowhere else. So, okay, with that in mind, I knew that. So she didn't have like bruises all over.
Yo, what the fuck, yo?
How long ago was that when they came into your home?
I would say the latest.
I ain't gonna lie, yo, that's why, yo, I do not send my kids over other people's house. Like, for real. Like, yo, my kids did not go to other people's houses, yo. Maybe my grandparents. Their grandparents. Yo, that's it. Anything outside of that? Like, nah, yo, my aunt maybe. Yo, but that shit was like rare, yo. Like, you cannot trust people with your fucking children, yo. You can't. I don't give a fuck how well you cannot trust people with your kids, man. Damn, yo, this is crazy. I can't believe this, yo. This is wild to me. Like, everybody should be in trouble. For whatever role everybody played, everybody should be in trouble, yo. How the CPS? Everybody. Like, how the fuck does this happen?
Approximately 7 months ago.
And so you say the latest. So was it a few
times
they came into your home?
It was twice total.
So twice total that they came into your home. Check, okay. And it was all for chastity, like you mentioned. What you just said,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of, this whole situation, so you were not arrested, correct? And that's
correct.
what, a lot of people seem to think as they saw you went out in custody. That's what you asked for, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so my first question for you, can you tell me your relation to Dorothy?
I'm Dorothy's second oldest daughter. I'm Kimani's aunt. My name is Sanika. I live in Indianapolis. All this that is going on is devastating. You wouldn't think that, you see it happen around the world, but when it hits close to your heart, you really just be thinking like, did I do something wrong? Did I fail her? She didn't have the life to live that we have got to grow and live. She was only 13. So to know that somebody that I trusted, which was her father, to come through and deceive us just to get to Kimani in some sexual way or a harmful way, that hurts me to the fullest. And the point I feel like I failed her. Me as being her aunt, a person that she could run to and tell anything and everything to. That was my girl. That was my baby. And to hear all of this, to know all of this, and to be going through all this and hearing it for as long as it went on, it's very devastating. I see so many people that are supposed to be my family that's going against my mom and me for that instance, and saying like, oh, she failed her, she had something to do with it, she had this and that. It doesn't matter at this point. For right now, until we get justice for Kimani, it's all about Kimani. What I would like to say is there's a lot of people on the internet starting GoFundMe's, and that's not what we need right now, because it's not what Kimani needs. The funeral home has objected to say that they're going to come and pay for everything, so there's no need for any GoFundMe pages, any of that. Everything is being taken care of that needs to be taken care of by her family, her immediate family.
does it upset you that there are GoFundMes? Some of them, I think, in cases might be scams too as well. That are
what upsets me is that people are starting these GoFundMe pages and putting Kimani name underneath it, and they know that it's going to get viewed, and people have sympathy and feel some type of way about that. And some of them can be scams, but I know some of them have come from family members. When just let the immediate family handle that. Like, what y'all gonna do with the money if y'all not turning it into the funeral home? There's no need. Let us handle it. Y'all just sit back and give us the emotional support that we need. That's what we need right now. As a family, as a community, we should all come together and just give each other the emotional support that we honestly need. And that's just what I asked for. For everybody to, you know, calm down, breathe. I know this is a hard time, because it's not just a hard time for y'all. This is a rough time for me. I just need y'all to come together and understand that we need each other as a community, as a family, and emotional support is what we need the most in this situation.
You know, yesterday the crowd was, yesterday you were here, I'm assuming, you know, the crowd was very upset, lots of emotions going through too, you know, especially at this time with such a sensitive situation. You know, we've heard multiple comments out in the crowd, you know, attacking or pointing fingers at your mom. So, you know, what has it been like trying her support system and helping her out?
In a way, you have to be mature enough to decide, am I going to follow along with the crowd, or am I going to, you know, stick around with the loner? I'm to the point where I'm not following nobody. I'm going with what's right. If it was your mother, if it was your niece, would you console your mother? Would you console your, you know, the person that was closest to her who lived with her? I'm not out to have a torch in the pitchforks and all out to go against anybody except the person who did this, which I believe was her father, Darnell. I don't have any other anger pushed towards anybody else. I'm angry that this happened, but I'm angry at the person who did this.
Do you know have you been in contact with Tiara, the mother?
Yeah, I've been in contact with my sister. It's been briefly. It's been over through text. Like I said, I live in Indianapolis. I seen her yesterday, but that was very brief. It wasn't even more than 5 minutes. It was more than less than.
This sounds like this is a very dysfunctional family. Off the rip, you can tell that just by this. This family is dysfunctional as a bitch.
Showed me my other niece, Kazaria, which is Kimani's youngest sister. But it wasn't like it was oh, sis, what are we going to do? Any of that. And I don't wish this on nobody. I really don't. I could, you know, your mind go different places when it's a baby. That was a baby. Like I said, I have a very close relationship with Kimani. She was a tomboy. She wasn't out looking for, you know, trying to be fast or, you know, mischievous or any of that. So for her mother to come down and have all this to say and all that, Tiara, where was you for the past 4 years? We haven't seen you since Kimani TikTok party.
Damn.
You haven't called her. You haven't sent her anything. You haven't said, oh, baby, I'm going to come get you for a weekend. We haven't seen you until this happened. Why we got to see you when it's a tragic moment?
Damn.
So, Tiara, where do you stand?
They're a piece of shit.
And Tiara lives in Cleveland, correct?
Yes.
And so the past 4 years, you're saying there was very little communication.
Very, very minimum. It wasn't even, she'll call my mom. She'll go through me and say, have you talked to mommy? And I'm like, no, about what? And she'll say, oh, well, she got custody of Kimani and she trying to get child support from me. So it wasn't that Tiara was concerned about Kimani. It was more of the why she want child support from me.
What is the relationship between your mother and your sister Tiara?
It's very distant. They had their words. They fought.
Yeah, it's fucked. This a fucked up situation, man.
Kimani mother has a godmother that Kimani was with before my mom got her. And there was no communication then.
These type of people shouldn't be able to have no kids, man. For real, man. They be the ones that be fucking shit up, man. For everybody. Like, yo, what the fuck is this, man? Like, this is not black people shit. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, how the fuck did it get so bad? Like, god damn, bro, this is crazy, man. This is fucking crazy.
from Tierra. Tierra had just, I feel like Tierra just let her go. Because any mother would be on her toes to get her children back. That wasn't the case here. It just wasn't.
When was Kimani taken away from Tierra?
I'll say about 7-8 months. And then Tierra godmother stepped in and got custody of Kimani, which would have been around 9 months.
She ain't never had.
Yeah, and Kimani had been with that lady from 9 months all the way up until about, I'd say 5.5 years ago. So it wasn't like Tierra was actually in the picture, you know, saying, hey, maybe I can start getting myself together to get my child back so nobody else can get hurt.
You're worried for Kimani's safety with any of the family members or anyone?
I wouldn't say I was worried because I was here. I was here. Every winter break, spring break, holidays, birthdays, I was here for Kimani. Yes, you come and, you know, you enjoy time with your family, but I was here for my niece. I also brought my youngest sister and her 2 kids from Indianapolis to be here for Kimani because we've been in the system before. So I know how it feels to feel like, dang, I'm at somebody's house or not wanted. I know those feelings. So I tried to give Kimani that at all times because she wanted and loved by her aunts.
They should have took that baby at birth, man.
And this is just devastating that I have to go through this for the rest of my life and knowing I'll never have the embrace of my niece, the hey, TT, what you doing? When you coming down here, you know, I'll never get to hear that from my baby again. And that's what kills me the most. I just wish that when I was down here last, that I had just taken her to Indianapolis with me. So this would never happen. A lot of things, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but at the end of the day, I just really wish that whatever happened, and whoever did this, y'all didn't have to do that to her. There's plenty of people out here with, you know, grown people that put themselves out there to be, you know, the sex worker or whatever it may be. You didn't have to do this to a child. There was nothing that Kimani would have done to make you hurt her. So, she was a very timid kid.
I bet she was.
You know, tomboyish, you know, reserved. She wasn't, you know, loud and you know, out there. So it's just devastating that that me and my family have to go through this.
Is there anything else that you would like to add at this time in the interview? Anything else that I didn't ask, maybe?
I just want people to understand that family is family, and at the end of the day, don't be so eager to go against your family. Talk to your family and talk to the children. These children may be scared to talk to the parents about things that's going on or what may be going on because they feel like they may get in trouble. But make it known that to your kids that you can talk to me. Make it very open. You can talk to me about any and everything. Because that's what these kids need to hear nowadays. Instead of going on social media and talking to somebody over social media about it, like he did this or she may done that. Talk to your family because they can handle. They're the adults. They're supposed to handle it. So yeah, and it's forever Kimani.
Yo, this is wild. Damn.
And to be clear, right now, Darnell Jones has been charged with murder, abduction, and felonious assault. There have been no criminal charges filed regarding any sexual crimes at this point. We also just got information about Kimani's cause of death. The Lucas County coroner says she died from multiple incised wounds of the neck. She was pronounced dead shortly after noon yesterday. We'll have much more on this breaking story throughout the day.
Wow. Yo, I did not expect this. Yo, man, we covered this yesterday. Yo, we covered this yesterday, yo. I did not expect none of this. This shit is going to get worse. Damn. That's deep. I think it is some type of money, some money somewhere. Like they probably always fighting over money. And rest in peace to that little girl, man. Rest in peace, Kamani, man. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So let me take y'all to this real quick before we get to the topics. So remember I was showing y'all yesterday what Boosie had going on with Hold up. I gotta show y'all this first. Look at this motherfucking Umar Johnson, man.
Did y'all hear that?
Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. Umar Johnson ain't who we thought he was, y'all. He ain't that, man. Check yo out.
Quaker Grits is $20 million a year off black folks. Quaker Grits? Can I have your grit money for 1 year? Give me your grit money for 1 year and I will build 10 schools across this country. Give me your grits. Give me your Quaker grits. No more grits for 1 year. Can we sacrifice our grits for 1 year? Can we sacrifice the grits? If you give me the grits, $19 million on Quaker grits. $19 million on Quaker grits.
Where's he getting these numbers from, man?
If you give me your Quaker grits.
The fuck he
give
get
me
this?
Your grit money.
Where'd he get this
I
from?
don't want your Louis bag money. I don't want your Mercedes money. I don't want your weave, perm, haircut, Air Jordan, Timberland money. Give me your grits. We spend $19 million a year on grits, and I don't have enough money to renovate the Garden Bill.
Yo, where the fuck he get these? Yo, can you Google that? How much do black people spend on grits yearly? Like, this thing is crazy. Yo, I'm mad he had me fooled for this long, yo. Yo, this guy is crazy, yo.
I don't have enough money to renovate the Garvey building.
What? Yo, didn't we pay for renovation 6 years ago? I could have sworn 6 years ago they paid for renovation. It need to be re-renovated. Crazy.
And we spent $19 million on
Hey,
grits.
what's up, Reed?
Did y'all hear that? Quaker grits is $20 million a year off black folks. Quaker grits?
I don't know, bro.
Can I have your grit money for 1 year? Give me your grit money for 1 year and I will build 10 schools across this country. Give me your grits. Give me your Quaker grits. No more grits for 1 year. Can we sacrifice our grits for 1 year? Can we sacrifice the grits? If you give me the grits,
you need to re-renovate that bitch.
Quaker grits. $19 million on Quaker grits, black folk. If you give me your Quaker grits, give me your grit money.
Damn. Yo say, give me your grit money. Yo, get this nigga. I'm done with you. I ain't never watching another interview or nothing. Like, yo, this guy is fucking insane. Yo, he is insane, man. Don't say, give me your grit money. What the fuck is wrong with you? All right, look, right. So y'all remember, fucking give me your grit money. Like, yo, he gotta know that's funny, yo. He gotta know that. Like, there's no way he think that can be taken serious. Oh yeah, that's a wild ass guy, man. Yo, but remember, Luce Cannon was talking about robbing Meek Mill, right? Where the fuck that shit at? Oh, hold on, no. Before I get to there, hold up. Boosie spoke about the Baton Rouge situation.
These people fucking with me in Louisiana. That's why I moved from down there, bro. It might be the last of Boosie Bash. It might be the last, bro. I'm thinking of taking Boosie Bash on the road, bro. Look for some venues this morning. Spend me about $300,000 on the tour right quick. I'm gonna take this shit on the road, man. They ain't gonna let me be great, bro.
Don't do it.
And I did this shit out of love, bro. My business partner came to me. He said, man, you know that kid just died, man. You want to do something for that
That's
kid,
a Prada. I ain't gonna lie.
And his family.
A Prada. That was my excuse for him at first, yo. But now I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't believe that no more. I don't think Umar Johnson ever planned on building the school. Like I think he's a fucking scam artist, a con artist. Like he's just he going to find his ass in the federal penitentiary, yo. Because you can go to prison for mismanaging donations. I don't know if he know that or not, but I wouldn't be surprised we see a Dr. Umar Johnson Rico coming down the pipeline. Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie. If they come down with a Dr. Umar Johnson Rico, I would laugh, yo. I would laugh. I'm sorry. It's going to be funny. Because for 15 years, yo, he has been scamming the black community, yo. 15 years. He taking us to schools. You hear from people that's from Wilmington, they say, man, that school boarded up. That school ain't never opening. Yeah, man, he walked with you fucking, y'all remember he was doing that type of shit, man. That was 3-4 years ago. Like, what the fuck is up with the school, man? Finesse Academy, you ain't lying. They ready to come down with an Umar Johnson Rico. Because, he done stole hundreds of thousands of dollars. He stole enough money to go federal. I don't know if he know that or not. I don't think so, Pride. I think he a con artist, bro. He got to prove me wrong. I gave him the benefit of the doubt for years. With the same, I had the same excuse that you had. He got it over his head. I don't believe that now. Especially when you find out he ain't been taking care of his kids. It lines up with con artists, bro. And not saying everybody, I'm just saying for him, when you look at him and this whole everything he got going on, that shit screams con artist. That's what it does, y'all.
Family. Kid just died at sudden. I'm like, of course I'll do something for him. We'll give him a 20, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. $10,000 scholarship and give him another 10 to his family when we get there. This shit is sad, bro.
Your Boosie bad as shit, though.
Like, all the revenue I bring to this city, all the stuff, they just always trying to take me down, bro. Like, these people fucking with me in Louisiana. That's why I moved from.
They on his ass, man. I guess he talked to the people, and shit must ain't go off how he wanted it to go.
This shit hurt my feelings, bro. Like, I'm pissed. Like, I am pissed, bro. To try to comfort me. To try to comfort me for trying to help his family. It don't get no dirtier than that. I'm gonna fight them with tooth and nail. I'm suing the state of Louisiana. I'm suing everybody. The whole Louisiana. I'm suing everybody. You want to sue me? It's gonna be some paper flying.
He said he was gonna get 10,000. He said it's gonna be 10,000 to the family, 10,000 for a scholarship. But it seemed like, I don't know the logistics of it. I guess he was in talks with the family. If y'all want to go back into the other video, so for people that's just tapping in, he was in contact with the father. But he said when he got home, he was going to do what he had to do. But I guess he had the event and went home and didn't do it. And now the attorney general is on his ass, trying to sue him and do all type of ill shit to him.
I'm suing everybody. Southern University, everybody. The city, the state, everybody. You best believe that. I'm slaying everybody. I'm coming everybody. This shit hurt my feelings, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that shit, man. But I don't know. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. All right, yo. So Meek Mill denies being held hostage by Luce and Crips in Los Angeles. He said, "I'd never seen him before." So Meek said this guy must be using a story to confuse his indictment because I never seen him before. I would have put him to God's test on the spot. I never even met Buddy. I don't negotiate with fake thugs. Ask him what changed because all my chains some shit. LOL. Watches all 300K up vibes. So what y'all think, man? What took Meek so long to respond to this, man? Then he said, it's blatant. They're trying to use, here go Meek with this bullshit. It's blatant. They trying to use to internet and create for you even if it's not your life. We can see clear the jig is up from all these brought up fake hip hop pages. That shit works for kids, not for grown men. What y'all think, y'all? I think he capped it too, for real. You know, you guys, I mean, got caught down bad, bro. Got caught down bad. It happens. It happens. Yeah, but listen to Cameron, yo. Cameron say he had more money than AZ. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe Cameron had more money than AZ? Cameron tripping, man. You talk about back in the 80s, that's a different type of money, bro.
But I don't think he made more money in the street than me. You know how much me as he was kid? I don't even want to discuss it. I know the statute of limitations is up, but I'm scared. I didn't tell you what we was doing, man. Don't back there, Chuck. So, you know, hold on, you ask. I know you like the legends and all that. I know you like the legends and all the legends and I heard this feeling. Who had a better running all of them than me, bro? Ever. I'm just saying, tell me. Who had a better run? I'll see it. Wait, you say you made more money in the street than AZ? That's what you said? Yes. What? Hold on now. He was getting joints, he was getting bricks for a certain amount of price that's unheard of to sell them for another price. And he had the jukebox, and he had 130, what's that, 133rd? Come on, this shit's flowing. How much a green heroin was in Columbus, Ohio? You try to. Yes or no? $350. You know how much a gram of heroin in New York is if you're getting bricks? $50 to $55. So you do your math. Do the math again. Okay, do it again. So you was buying. Hold on. So you was buying 750s and all that when you was bored. When you wanted to match your clothes, you was buying He wasn't grateful evidence or nothing, but you was buying 750s and all that. The Timberland Mad movement got started from Ohio. These stories like you made the mad money, and I said you did.
I hope the statute of limitations up on that shit, but he might not be lying. I don't know if he got more money than AZ, but he might not be lying about some of the other stuff he was talking about. You know. So look, right? So Wack 100, Mr. Eugene, said this 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Wack 100 predicted a RICO case. 2 years ago. Wonder how he knew you, man.
There's a lot of shit going on in LA. A bunch of going to jail and getting out and ain't telling nobody they went to jail. But I'm going to stay tuned. I ain't going to say nothing on this one. I'm going to sit back and watch the show. Just know, like to come on here and be funny about what is lying about. I want to talk about the real. We want to see that bail receipt. We want to see why the fuck you out of jail. Because your own homies is called early in the morning talking about just went to jail and now they out. And the social media was down 3-4 days. Now it's back on.
He definitely especially in charge.
Wack, what the fuck is going on? You got from your neighborhood telling us 3 weeks ago, certain gonna get picked up on RICOs. 3 weeks later, picked up by the federales. How the fuck did this nigga know that you was gonna get picked up 3 weeks prior? Whole lot going on. Well, that's up to you real all outside. Y'all just remember I spoke on it today, so when it hit and it break, I'm gonna sit back and laugh. I'm going to go on live. I'm going to hit Tone from Blackstone. But all the
agent, yo.
And I'm going to laugh with him like you did.
Yo, it's obvious the man, yo, he's a fucking agent. All right, so look, since everybody here, y'all remember yesterday, right? I was talking about Wack 100 setting Luce Cannon up. That fight at No Jumper was set up by Wack 100. Y'all remember we was talking about that yesterday? Who remember us having that? Was that yesterday or the day before? Who remember we was having that? But I couldn't find the video. I was looking for the video to show y'all the difference in what he said on No Jumper the other day versus what he said on No Jumper 2 months ago. Y'all remember that conversation? And I was like, yo, this man, yo, he lying. He set him up. So Point and Shoot must have seen that video because he did a video explaining exactly what I was telling y'all yesterday. Listen to this, watch this shit. Salute the Point and Shoot.
Great content needs a
like
great
the motherfucker.
Audience. Like
He done took my thoughts.
To be stretched.
He done took my thoughts and put it into a video. Y'all don't remember that conversation? Y'all gotta go back to the live, y'all, and show y'all for people that forgot. I was talking about how Wack set Luce Cannon up. He set him up with the fight at No Jumper. Nobody remembers that. All right. We'll go to the video after this.
Okay, so for this video, I want to talk about Three Fingers Wack 100 and how he lined up Luce Cannon to get arrested by the federales. So I want to explain. So one of the things that Luce Cannon.
All right, John. So you remember? I knew I wasn't geeking. I know we had a whole conversation about it, and I was trying to show y'all the videos I was talking about, but I couldn't find it. All right, thanks, going up. So, Point and Shoot must have heard my thoughts because he did a video basically explaining what I was trying to show y'all that day. And what I was trying to show y'all is that that fight at No Jumper was set up by Wack 100. He set it up. Like he set all these guys, like, yo, the man is dirty as it comes, man. That's what's up, Benji. He set Luce Cannon up. He used Luce Cannon to set up Big U.
Right now,
and in the meantime, sent Luce Cannon over. Like, yo, this was diabolical, y'all. Diabolical.
Great No Jumper Brawl of 2024. This is when Luce Cannon was seen on video buffaloing some guy in the head with slam, and he forced him to take an unexpected nap, and then he ran his pockets and disrobed him and left him naked for dead.
What?
This is a great No Jumper beatdown, but this is in the indictment. This is what Luce Cannon is in trouble for right now. And what they're saying is on the internet, people are saying that Wack Three Fingers lined this whole thing up and used Luce Cannon to beat up someone he didn't like. And now Luce Cannon is in jail for it. And Wack Three Fingers is parading around dry snitching on him, saying that it was all Luce Cannon, and this is basically telling. This is telling, guys.
Wack didn't run out on no bullshit.
Right, but the people that you invited are the ones who got involved in this bullshit. And from my perspective, this is all like a big PR thing. Because why was somebody filming before it even started?
Yeah, so someone was filming before it started, indicating that it was planned. Okay, so I want to explain this entire beating. So I guess Three Fingers Wack had a business deal for a low-budget TV show with these two guys, Travis Ford and Mozzie. And apparently Wack wanted to bring the 16 in on the deal because I think he wanted the 16 to help promote the show with his No Jumper platform. So he needed the 16. So they were going to have this meeting at the No Jumper building. Just the four of them, Three Fingers Wack, Mozzie, Travis Ford, and the 16 of Nashua. It was supposed to be those four, but the meeting was canceled.
Mozzie canceled with Wack. Wack called me and told me not to show up.
And so what happened was this Jay Reed guy, the guy that got beat up.
Remember, that's the video I was trying to find. When he was talking about, they called him. But when he told that story on No Jumper, he left all of that out. Yo, Wack set these boys up from start to fucking finish. Start to finish. Anybody that's denying it, they just want to be fans of him. The man is a fucking working agent. And it's crazy that Point and Shoot did this. Cause I'm like, dang, how the fuck he had to watch our video, y'all. Everything we talked about, he put this shit in the fucking video. Everything. Did a great job though. And I don't mind him doing it because, you know, we got the same people that we going after. All the fuck boys. And this crazy could point and shoot a white boy going after the fuck shit. Salute the point and shoot, man.
He showed up to the meeting anyway. He says, I'm going anyways because he's got some business. He wants to do some business.
He tells him, I'm going up there anyway. Right?
And so what happened was Jay Reed annoyed
Eugene
by overstepping and trying to like,
don't do it, Eugene. Hey, yo, I got to get the clubhouse and just say that shit, yo, while he on the stage. Draws. Talk about he should have got out. Nigga, yo, we going to get back the blues until we kick him off the internet. Or he kick us off the internet, whichever comes first.
Like slither into a business deal that he wasn't invited to. And so he was annoying Three Fingers Wack and Travis Ford and everyone.
They called him Three Fingers Wack, yo, because they had that video of him on a bed, naked, talking on Clubhouse. And the girl, Keita, came up with that from our Clubhouse.
That's why people are saying that this was a setup. That Wack Three
Don't
Fingers
do it, Eugene.
Was coming. Travis Ford probably told Three Fingers Wack, like, hey, this
guy
is bro. This guy's out of control. And Wack was probably like, we gonna see about that. I got a loose cannon. We gonna do the whole thing. And you know, Wack Three Fingers wanted to do some gangster shit.
What?
But he's not a gangster, so he needed loose cannon. Does this make sense? I hope this is making sense. I want to actually go to a clip here before I get too
When I call him and say, yo, bro, what's up with this dude? Know what he tells me?
This
he said, Wack, dude called me at 5:56 and said he on his way to No Jumper. And I said, why? Mozzie canceled with Wack. Wack called me and told me not to show up. Right?
Sure
I don't know this dude. All I know is Travis Ford and my owner.
I want to go to Clubhouse to tell him fuck.
So
He ain't let me on
Wack Three
stage.
Fingers says that he doesn't know Jay Reed. He's never heard of Jay Reed. He wasn't expecting Jay Reed to show up ever. But this is actually problematic because Wack Three Fingers actually did know Jay Reed. He knew exactly who he was. He's been in pictures with him. He's gone to dinner with him.
That man, he got 300 fades. Look, he don't know him. He don't know him though. Yo, he set Loose Cannon up. See, this. Let me tell you something, right? Wack 100 is cutthroat, conniving. You know what I mean? He think he's smarter than everybody, but Loose Cannon is stupid. So it's not hard to pull us off. It's not hard to put Loose Cannon in a situation where there's a Loose Cannon going to flip, because Loose Cannon he's a Loose Cannon. That's his fucking name. So by Wack knowing that this investigation was going on, he just wanted to add to it. You understand what I'm saying? So he created this situation. It might sound crazy to some people, yo, because the average person not as diabolical as this. Like, this is diabolical work. You understand me? Like, this had real thought and planning, putting like government agency type shit, like police. This real police work. You know what I mean? Don't you know how, like, when the FBI, COINTELPRO, and the FBI was sending Dr. King wife videos and pictures of him with other women? This that type shit. That's what I be trying to get people to understand. Like, yo, this is about dirty as it gets. Shit, not content. It's dirty. It's disgusting. It's filthy. Shit, filthy, man. He set that man up intentionally. He knew he can get Loose Cannon to flip out. But now he don't know him. But I'm gonna let it run because Points, you did a good job explaining it, but he can't explain it the street way. He can only explain it, the way he can explain it.
Ford and my owner.
Down South Magazine.
I don't know this dude, right?
So Wack Three Fingers says that he doesn't know Jay Reed. He's never heard of Jay Reed. He wasn't expecting Jay Reed to show up ever. But this is actually problematic because Wack Three Fingers actually did know Jay Reed. He knew exactly who he was. He's been in pictures with him. He's gone to dinner with him. He's been on the phone with him.
You in pictures with him, at dinner with him, and you on the phone call with him prior to No Jumper.
Man, I was just in Vegas with these dudes about 2 weeks ago. And, you can see the picture up on about that. So
20, you see the day?
Yeah, for real. They scared of them niggas.
See, that's everybody, right? Travis.
Search for Taylor Brands to get that LLC.
I'm tipping off Points. Yo, Points, you gotta start shouting me out, bro. Like, this is the second time you did this, bro. Like, yo, come on, keep that shit real, bro. You like the content? You like the way I put shit together? Yo, shout me out in the video, my nigga. I don't think it's asked for too much. Because he definitely got this idea for me. Like this was just a couple days ago. We was talking about this whole shit. He just pop up and do a whole video. Point, you come over here sometimes. He been over here about twice. That comment.
Mozzie, Jay Reed in the back. I don't know this dude.
So Three Fingers Wack actually did know who Jay Reed was and likely knew he was coming to No Jumper that night because Travis Ford was notified by Jay Reed that he was going to No Jumper.
Yo, he had to steal, yo. There's no way, yo. We don't got the same brain. How did I say this a couple days ago and then he do a video on it? Wack is helping the feds arrest people. And then the narrative of he tricked Luce Cannon.
Dude called me at 5:56 and said he on his way to No Jumper.
But I don't mind.
It just doesn't make any sense to me that Travis Ford wouldn't then relay that message to Wack and say, hey, Jay Reed's on his way up there anyways. It doesn't make any sense. I believe that Travis Ford did in fact do that and that Wack knew that Jay Reed was coming. And it also kind of sounds like they were waiting around for him to show up.
He does what he always does.
Yeah, this is the second time I see him do this.
Baby goes to sleep.
But I don't mind though.
Laugh, joke, bullshit, shoot a game of pool, then we get on.
But either way, this is where the story stops making sense.
But the reason I don't mind, because like I said, we go after the same people. He don't fuck with Wack. He don't fuck with Adam. He don't fuck with Vlad. He don't fuck with Wack. He don't fuck with the same people I don't fuck with. That's why I don't mind him doing it. Like, he got a bigger channel. It actually helped me get my message out there. Excuse me.
No Jumper.
He said, Wack, dude called me at 5:56 and said he on his way to No Jumper.
And so it just doesn't make any sense to me that Travis Ford wouldn't then relay that message to Wack and say, hey, Jay Reed's on his way up there anyways. It doesn't make any sense. I believe that Travis Ford did in fact do that and that Wack knew that Jay Reed was coming. And it also kind of sounds like they were waiting around for him to show up.
He does what he always does. I got to get home before the baby goes to sleep. He come out here, laugh, joke, bullshit, shoot a game of pool, then we get on.
But either way, this is where the story stops making sense. Listen to this.
As soon as I saw them heads, I say, bro, whoever that is, get them out of here. When you leave, bro, I don't let nobody in this building. If you're here and it's cool, then it's cool. Donnie will tell you, as soon as they walked in, I didn't even get a chance to see you. I said, yo, whoever that is, tell them wait outside, bro. I don't know if it's some loose people or what.
So when Three Fingers Wack is just systematically snitching on Luce Cannon, just blaming the whole thing on him, and he's like telling these lies like he didn't know who Jay Reed was, like he didn't have dinner with him the other day.
Just tell him wait outside, bro. I don't know if it's some loose people or what. So when you called and said there's two people in the back,
in the front, really,
or wherever they was at, you know my people. My people, when I get here, they're here. If you ain't here when I get here, I ain't sticking with you. So I don't send my people out. I say, Luce, whoever out there, maybe they're your people, go check. So he goes out. They motion for me to come over there. Dude is saying some shit like, motherfuckers think they all that, woo-de-woo-de-woo, but when it come to this white boy, culture vulture, he get to this, all this crazy shit, right? I make the decision not to respond. You know why? I respond. Adam respond. You've been around my team long enough to know they disciplined. They ain't finna do shit unless I do some shit. I'm not saying I ain't tell myself I'm gonna fuck your ass up, just not right here. I ain't trying to hear what you're saying. Luce says, so you came up here for content. He says back to Luce, whatever, cuz how you want to put it, on gangster. Luce says, nigga, this on neighborhood, okay? In this jungle, Adam, anything gangster crip, anything neighborhood crip.
Wow, okay, so this Pyru is on this podcast narrating gang-related crime. I mean, this is insane. Why is he doing this? It's almost like he wants Luce Cannon to get investigated.
He do, yo. Seriously, this is a fucking slime ball, yo. Like, for the people that support y'all, like, he probably the worst, he worse than Charleston. Yo, he is worse than Charleston, man. I ain't never thought I would say that. Because Charleston bad. Because Charleston tries to speak on the black community. But the shit that he is doing, man, this shit crazy, y'all. Yo, put them boys together, man. And laughed about it. Said street guys are stupid. And laughed about it. With DJ Academics and all the rest of the Federal Five. That's their name, y'all, the Federal Five. But he can't outthink somebody with intelligence. You know, they only focus on ignorance. You know, it ain't hard to outthink ignorance.
what is the point of discussing this on this show?
Yeah,
if
that's what
Wack
he's
Three
doing.
Fingers is so hot under the collar from all the pressure from the interrogation of the 16, imagine what he would give to the cops. I think Wack Three Fingers is an informant at this point. And a point I wanted to make is that Luce Cannon already made a video snitching on himself for this exact thing, this exact beating, but he gave a different story that didn't involve any type of gangbanging. And so I'm thinking, like, is Wack just trying to add gangbanging to the story because he knows the feds are watching? Could it be that Wack Three Fingers is trying to make this appear gang-related so that the feds investigate this as part of the RICO?
What?
I don't know. It makes sense if you think about it. And so I'd like to play you guys a clip of Luce Cannon's version of the event.
Wack was like, no, I don't know who they are. So
look, he didn't even know him.
I don't know, but let me go out and holler at him. So I walk out, and he was like, man, I got a problem with Wack. I'm like, you got a problem with Wack about what? Yeah, I just got a problem with him. I'm like, you do? So I called Wack over there. Wack, come over here. Dude was like, man, you running this type of content and stuff like that. And Wack was like, what content? Wack pulled out his phone. Once Wack pulled out the phone, he was like, oh, this content? And then the dude was like, everything is not content. I said, you right. So, y'all see the results. Smack. Let's get to it. How far do y'all expect me to go?
So Luce Cannon's version is that he knocked the guy out because he said he had a problem with Three Fingers Wack. That's very interesting. So Three Fingers Wack left that part out.
But that's what makes sense. That shit was he lined them up. Yo, it's not hard to line up a loose cannon. He's a fucking loose cannon. All you gotta do is put him in a situation. You know how he gonna react. Wack used that. Yeah. Wack used that to his advantage. Manipulation. Sent them boys to prison, man. And then trying to get on the internet and spin the narrative like he didn't. Just like he tried to spin the narrative when Big U pressed him, he was scared as shit. He peed on himself.
Out of his version, he didn't want the narrative to be that Luce Cannon was knocking people out on his behalf. So he changed the story and said that there was gangbanging involved, and that's what motivated Luce Cannon to knock the guy out. And so this had nothing to do with any gangbanging. This was just Three Fingers Wack trying to remove himself from any responsibility.
And firing on Jay Reed has absolutely nothing to do with on gangsters, on neighborhoods.
That's what I think.
It has nothing to do with
so
that.
It sounds like Three Fingers Wack pretty much made this up, this gang enhancement situation, and just made it up. And so he's not only snitching, but he's lie snitching. That's one of the more pathetic forms of snitching. And it gets kind of crazier when Three Fingers Wack says that he basically stopped the situation from getting worse. Listen to this.
Y'all witnessed outside of No Jumper. Did I do what I was supposed to do?
You didn't do anything.
No, bullshit. Y'all got amnesia? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Wow. So Wack Three Fingers wants credit for stopping the beating, for saying, no, don't do that, don't do that. He only said, so here's the deal. He only started saying, no, don't do that after the gun came out.
What?
You can clearly see in the video, Wack Three Fingers just standing there with his hands in his pockets watching the beating take place and didn't say anything until Slam got pulled out. And you're going to be able to tell
and phone's already up there
recording. And when Three Fingers Wack says, no, don't do that.
Listen. Whoever was recording, working with the feds too. Whoever sat there and recorded that is working with the feds too, yo. Yo probably got a whole federal team. Y'all think it's a game, yo. COINTELPRO is real. They never stopped it. They never stopped it. Federal agents ain't never benefit the black community, y'all. I just want people to know that. I ain't going to drill it. But for people that think it's a game, know your history. So we don't got to repeat it. That's why history is important, man.
This.
Did you know you can increase your revenue with Snapchat ads? Just ask Manscaped.
We have seen a 162% increase.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, he paid. It was a play, y'all. He wanted to get Luce Cannon on more charges. You know what, he played a huge pivotal role in this indictment, y'all. Pivotal role. The minute he fell out with Big U, the investigation started. Wack said he fell out with Big U in 2021. This investigation started in 2021.
So that was about 11 seconds of violence, and Wack just stood around with his hands in his pockets watching it happen. So I really have a huge problem with Wack Three Fingers telling on Luce Cannon on podcasts and, like, you know, explaining all this gangster activity on, you know, it's really unacceptable. He should sit there and shut the fuck up, especially because he was involved probably. He should shut the fuck up. But because of, and you know, this isn't the only thing that Luce Cannon is in jail for that Wack Three Fingers sort of lined up. The federales are actually using transcripts from a podcast that Wack Three Fingers brought Luce Cannon onto in order to get Luce Cannon to start, like, saying way too much about crimes. And this was how Luce Cannon got his start with his internet antics. This was his first, we hadn't seen, so this is the first time we have ever seen Luce Cannon was on this podcast.
Remember I said that? Like, yo, boy, you funny as shit.
I took Luce and
Good at
sat him
that
on the
shit.
side of me. When the light hit me, I made sure it hit him.
Yeah, I don't think I was that familiar with him before you brought him on the pod.
So
Nobody
Wack
was.
Three Fingers just brings on this nobody named Luce Cannon and starts getting him to tell on himself and others for the sake of getting Big U in trouble. Because Luce Cannon ends up implicating Big U in Nipsey Hussle's murder. Okay, so this is really insane. Look at this.
Yeah, but this crazy motherfucker calls me the other day. If I get some information or some content, I'm gonna fire your ass up.
Yeah,
I said, nephew, this content I can't present. You gotta present it because you ain't lied to me yet. He's behind a lot of shit that you seen. You just should know it was him. Okay. We're gonna tell you off camera.
What kind of stuff?
Yeah, y'all. Look what he doing, y'all. He know Luce is stupid. He planned, yo, this is the whole game. This is called deceit. He buttering them up. This is what all them podcasters do when they get them young boys up there and them ignorant kids up there and get them to talk about crimes. Look how he buttered them up. Look how he do it. Yo, this is a tactic. This is a police tactic, y'all. It's a police tactic. Look how he doing. Let's go back.
Hit me, I made sure it hit him.
Yeah, I don't think I was that familiar with him before you brought him on the pod.
So Wack Three Fingers just brings on this nobody named Luce Cannon and starts getting him to tell on himself and others for the sake of getting Big U in trouble. Because Luce Cannon ends up implicating Big U in Nipsey Hussle's murder. Okay, so this is really insane. Look at this.
Yeah, but this crazy motherfucker calls me the other day. If I get some information or some content, I'm gonna fire your ass up.
Yeah,
I said, nephew, this
Exactly. I back. I think that's how it's so easy for us to notice. I have too. I know these. I've been around these guys. Yo, these are the worst of the fucking worst. These are the guys that if they can't fuck with you on the streets, they're gonna send the police your way. Wack 100. No integrity, no morals, will do to some of the lowest of the low. It's not content. It's not funny. It ain't none of that shit that they're trying to convince people that it is. This is detrimental.
You gotta present it because you ain't lied to me yet.
You ain't lied to me yet.
Shit that you seen, you just should know it was him.
Listen to him. You ain't lied to me yet. You ain't lied to me yet. He behind a lot of shit that you saying. This is how they get him to talk, y'all. We can go to interview, and it's the same tactic, I promise you. Butter him up, get him to talk. But they only do that to ignorance.
Go tell you off camera.
They blessed every day. Once you call it page, bro, so we can talk.
A lot of shit that you see it on YouTube, you just say no, it was him. So I know he ain't no bullshitter. Man, listen.
No, so
yeah, you gotta elaborate on this shit.
I got to, because at the end of the day, it's like dealing with, like, we about to go do something, hop out on something, and give you a gun that's empty.
Oh, he did that to you?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he did it to somebody else?
I think. You know what I think Luce thought? I think Luce thought he wasn't going to be implicated because his connection to Wack. I think Luce thought Wack was going to protect him. But Wack was backdooring him too. COINTELPRO, man. That's what this was. This was COINTELPRO. We gotta use one of you to get to. They did the same shit to Wack. That's why he an agent. That's how they got into death row, using Wack. It's the same concept. If we wanna get into the this organization, we gotta compromise one. We gotta befriend one. That way we can learn the inner workings. That way we can use it against them. Y'all remember we watched the interview of the guy that took down the freedom fighters in LA, the freedom riders in LA. And that's what he said, man. He said it specifically. Man, these people do studies. They know what they're looking for. They know what they want. You got to use their culture against them. And once you call my Instagram, yo, let's talk about it. So I can see your face.
Right, he really going.
Honey, okay.
So did you let him just take the 50 from you? You really didn't get a cut, or you waited to the next thing and just took more?
Yeah.
No, he avoided me. And then,
all right.
Nobody wanted to get a dude back to 40, right? Because he was going to make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
Of course.
And kept you out of it.
Of course.
Then he coaching them.
Did that to when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to that?
So
the club, when you sweated them in the club?
Yeah.
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you at him.
No, they
didn't want to do that.
So
this really just
sends a shiver down my spine watching Three Fingers Wack coaching Luce Cannon along, getting him to tell on him. I mean, this is crazy. So how is this not third-party snitching?
The homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey. And so I'm like...
Wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah, and
you like...
just talking on regular. So it's like, at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because...
You don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because their relationship was so fucked up. They be hot one minute, then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like you just
30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Yep, he hit me a little bit too early because the homie Shitty double back 3 times. You hear what I'm saying?
So that was nuts. Wack Three Fingers sounds exactly like a police officer. Same speech patterns and everything. That's very, very interesting. So Wack Three Fingers brings Luce Cannon on, gets him to make all these wild and crazy claims in a display of self-snitchery. Then Luce Cannon starts getting attention from other people like DJ Snackademics.
Interview talking about what I did to Meek Mills.
Wait, you did something to Meek Mill?
Oh, Lord.
And I do find it interesting that DJ Academics is interested.
Now he's using his resources. And I can't believe people can't see what the fuck happened, y'all. He used them. I'm gonna take y'all to the after this video. I'm gonna take y'all to the federal informant so y'all can hear how he talks and how the federal agency does these things. Cause I think people think it's a game, yo. Like this shit real. He wouldn't have been up there next to Academic if it wasn't for Wack.
Interested in interviewing Luce Cannon when he had this to say about LA gang members.
All the LA gangsters, I don't know what's going on in LA. Maybe they don't sell enough drugs.
I know didn't participate in
They don't get money. They're broke, okay? I'm sorry to say, LA gang members are fucking broke. The only way they know how to get money is podcasting. Most of them are unintelligible, illiterate, don't know how to have coherence, ideas, points, or even make sentences. And what they oftentimes
you believe that?
Realize the intrigue about them are.
Wack ain't, man, I don't know. Wack is a fucking agent. Wack is trying to send people to prison, man, just like Charleston White. They the same person. They working with the same people. That's why I told y'all they don't even beef. They don't even beef. They the loudest voices in the internet right now. How they don't beef? How they don't clash? Cause they on teams, man. See, y'all keep trying to tell y'all. I watched it happen, man. I watched it happen, man. They started censoring people because YouTubers' voices was getting too loud. The only way to combat that is to bring their own people in. That's where you get Wack 100 from. That's where you get Charleston White from. That's where you get these people from, man. They all came around the same time.
Is talk about crimes they've committed. So the whole LA podcast scene, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I think LA is a weird scene in general. Let me just be very clear. No, I really don't. I promise I don't know. You say y'all was trying to kidnap him. So explain that story. Wait, so how did you even come in contact with it? And I think supposedly there was a big you portion of it.
Yeah. So basically, so we caught him at the club where he was performing.
So DJ Academics falls directly under the definition of culture vulture. He's capitalizing off of gang culture in LA, something that he despises, but he's just using it to get money. Okay.
What's up, bro?
And I always find it funny when DJ Academics talks about himself like he's this brilliant guy, like he's insanely smart.
You're the only street nigga that could keep up with me on the mic. That's a fact.
In this video, I will tell you exactly what you get access to when you join SX Academy. Alright, let's start. Why join and learn from me? Let's
Yes, no, see y'all, no, see this the thing though, Dave. They're focusing on ignorance. They couldn't trick a lot of us like this. They couldn't trick a lot of us like this. But they're trying to make the ignorance look like the majority, and that's not the majority. Similar to what they always done with media and black people. They make the ignorant seem like the majority. They make the streets seem like that's the black community. In reality, the black community working just as hard as any other motherfucking community. But you couldn't tell that by the narrative that gets spent on us. This exploitation, y'all. They exploiting ignorance. It's exactly what I said the other night, bro. It's exactly what I said the other night. It's exactly what that's what I'm saying. He had to watch my video and then made a video off of what I said. Because this is exactly what I said the other night. I just couldn't find the videos in real time because it took too long.
Talk circles around anyone if we have to get to an intellectual conversation.
He ain't that smart. I listened to him talk. He sounds like a fucking idiot. Seriously, what's up with again? Why does he say again like 5,000 fucking times? Listen to this.
And again, we're going to sound like so I'm on YouTube, but again, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not. Listen, again, if I'm exploited, and again, I know like Kanye is really interesting. Again, it's so passionate for him. And again, the optics on it. So I'm watching again. So you're trying to do it on my daughter, but you would do one with me.
That's what he did.
Again, because in the past, and again, I'm like,
exactly.
I've seen this
but that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't notice that by the narrative that get puts out there. You wouldn't notice that, yo, we working. These motherfuckers will get on there and say we stupid and lazy. Like they're trying to make the 10% the 90%. That's what they always done. But they only do it to the black community. Like I told y'all before, it's ignorance and Asian. It's Asian gangbangers. Tattoos everywhere. Robbing, murdering, raping, doing all that shit. But they're not going to make them the face of the Asian community. I just showed y'all the guy, Ryan Wetton. Olympic skater turned motherfucking mob boss. Way ruthless than Dirk, Big U, and anybody you want to motherfucking mention. But you don't see him all over the internet. Way ruthless. That man linked in with the cartels. He still want to run now. That man been around for 3 years. $50 million reward. But you never heard of him. But you never heard of him. Caucasian man.
Again, don't you believe that again, not that the podcast was police, but even again. So again.
Okay, so that was not very intellectual sounding at all. And
let a black Olympic figure skater. Think about this, y'all. Let a black Olympic figure skater turn cartel member that's accused of murders and all these heinous crimes Yo, do you know how fucking publicized that would be? If Usain Bolt, say Usain Bolt. If Usain Bolt dropped out of the Olympics and sold cocaine, 60,000 tons, I think it wanted 60,000 of cocaine, billions of dollars of cocaine. Yo, that shit would be on the motherfucking news for months. All over social media. Man, you wouldn't hear the end of that shit. But Ryan Wetton did it. Nobody knows about him. He on a FBI most wanted list. I think he number 3.
I'm sorry if I can't.
And people would have been calling him stupid. Yo, I can't believe he did that. That was dumb as shit. He gave up track and field to sell coke. Niggas. That would have been a narrative. Niggas. Always doing something stupid.
Can't respect anyone that says again this many fucking times.
What?
Again, right? Because again, now again, I mean, again. So again, yo, like again, once again. Because
I got a video on.
Again,
I did a video on.
Again. So again, it's again, no.
Having your information freely available on the internet makes it easier for anyone to impersonate you online or even try to find you in real life. You want to get your name, age, email, phone.
Nah, y'all, he was doing that shit yearly, bro. You want to hear about when we was talking about Ryan Wetton? We just talked about him a couple days ago. He was doing that yearly. The United States got a $50 billion reward out on him. They said he been protected by the Sinaloa cartel. He been on the run for 3 years. That man was an Olympic skater. I mean, snowboarder. Turned cocaine trafficker. That's wanted for murders, 4 of them.
I really get niggas locked up, right? I'm really a rat.
So Wack 3 Fingers gets Loose Cannon to say
He came around that same time too. I'm telling y'all, all these guys came around 2020. 2020, 2021. They all came around the same fucking time.
all this stuff on No Jumper, and all of a sudden he's getting booked on Academics' little podcast. He's going on he's got a whole media tour to talk about all this stuff, and it's all because of Wack 3 Fingers, right? Wack 3 Fingers himself takes credit for this. And so knowing what Wack 3 Fingers likely knows about the feds and the police, why would he encourage Luce Cannon to do this? If Luce Cannon was really his partner, why wouldn't he say, don't do that, don't do. Why is he saying go on DJ Academics and tell him the story? Why are you doing that? Is it because it furthers your agenda?
Dave, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, bro. I was on the internet. I was on Facebook. I wasn't on YouTube. I ain't come to YouTube to 2022. But I was on Facebook getting censored like a motherfucker. So that's why I'm trying to. I'm telling you, I know what I watched it happen. I watched them remove people who they deemed problems off the internet. Alex Jones was one of them. I think that happened in 2015. He probably was the first. But around like 2019, they did like a clean sweep. They was kicking everybody off. Anybody who had a voice that was able to sway the people, they got removed off of YouTube. They got removed. And then they brought these guys in. Because, yo, this is the thing, y'all. You can't stop blogging. Blogging is the new form of media. But it was a time when people wasn't watching mainstream news no more. Everything was on YouTube. This is before mainstream news came to YouTube. They just started coming the last couple years. But YouTube has had too much power. So they start silencing people. But the only way you can combat that power is to bring your own people in. And that's what they did. And they boosted them to the top. That's how you get a 1090 Jake. You see what the fuck 1090 Jake did in Florida? With all those motherfucking inmates and COs getting arrested. See, yo, but when I talk like this, they fuck with my channel, yo. So I be trying to stray away from it, but somehow we always get back to it. As we want people to see what's going on, man. Like, it's real. It's not a game. Like, now they trying to sell everybody this content shit. Yup. Young Pharaohs. Yup. He was one of them. YouTubers' voices were getting too loud, man. And they kicked them off the internet. Motherfuckers had to make their own pages and their own websites. And then they bought the Wack 100s. They bought the Wack 100s. They bought the Charleston Whites. Now their voices is loudest. So what I mean by is, since you can't stop blogging, right? You're going to have people like me. But my voice is here. Wack voice is here. So it's like, all right, everybody got a voice. But our people's voices are going to be the loudest. And we're going to make sure of that. We're going to make sure of that. And that's what they did. That's what they did. That's what they're doing. Let me show you. After this, I'm going to take you to the federal informant, man. And listen to how he talks about the FBI and their interest in the black community.
You don't give a fuck if Luce Cannon gets locked up?
What?
That's what it sounds like. I mean, the guy just sounds like a cop. Like I said, his speech patterns, the things that he says, it just sounds very police-like.
I don't let people in my car. I don't know if you paid attention. I don't let dudes in my vehicle. People get in, they smell like marijuana. They may have warrants and shit. I know with me in there, I know what my situation is. So they gonna escort me back. I know they there with me. I can talk bullshit. We can pull over. I get woozy.
Wack Three Fingers doesn't let people in his car because they may smell like marijuana and they may have warrants. That doesn't. So I won't let anyone in my car that doesn't smell like marijuana and doesn't have fucking warrants, because at least that way I can trust them. And I know that they're not the fuck.
See, this is the thing with Wack. He's selling ignorance. So this is what he's doing, y'all. He's pushing gang culture. But on the back end, he's against it. So if I can talk this gang shit, just everything on Pyru, on blood. If I can push this shit, convince these people that I'm one of them, then I can blend in to take them down. That's what he did. That's what he's doing currently. That's why I had to stop fucking with the pages that post them, because I can't co-sign that. Because if you sharing, knowing what he's doing, then you part of the problem. You're part of the problem. If you go in a clubhouse sharing that motherfucking shit that he talking, knowing that he's actively trying to send people to prison, then you are part of the problem, man. Shit, watch this, Dave. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about for people that's confused. Y'all gotta hear these informants talk. They talk like Wack. They talk like Charleston. I heard Charleston say, I'm a reflection of the community. How many y'all heard Charleston White say that? How many y'all heard Charleston White say, I am a reflection of the community? How many people heard him say that before? I heard him say it about twice. I know I ain't the only one that heard him. Here go Ryan Wetton right here. We just were talking about you a couple days ago. Ryan Wetton's path from Olympian to most wanted fugitive. Former Canadian Olympian turned drug lord. But I got a video on him, but ain't nobody else do no video on him. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, Ryan Wetton, a serious dude, man. Working with the cartels. Being protected by the cartels. So do y'all remember Charleston White saying he's a reflection of the community? Nobody remember that but me? Watch what this informant say. Watch what the informant say. He said the same fucking thing. How ironic is that? How ironic is that? I never thought the South was a reflection of the community. I am the community. The fuck? I'm not a reflection of it. This is, yeah, you know. How many days ago was that? I think we should be coming up on it. That man said, I'm a reflection of the community. Good one. We should be coming up on it, y'all. Here we go. This guy right here. We're going to watch this the whole 22 minutes. FBI informant talks infiltration of the black culture. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Check you out.
You get in the vehicle, he would hand you the money. He would tell you first to count them.
Let's go back.
Former for the FBI during the 1960s. His name is Dothard Perry, also known as Ed Riggs, also known as Bill Perry, also known as Othello. How were you paid? The pay was always in cash. Cash, and you would sign a card. It would go like this. A rendezvous or a drop-off point would be picked out either by yourself or the agent. You would meet the agent there. Usually it would be in a vehicle. You get in the vehicle, he would hand you the money. He would tell you first to count the money. He would tell you the amount while you counted it. If the amount was there, he would then bring out
a lot of people ain't see it though, bro.
Would be for the week of such and such. In other words, the week was dated. So-and-so has been paid the amount of. Then you would sign the card, and then the agent would sign the card. The reason for this is that if all of a sudden the IRS became very interested about where you were getting all this extra money from, you could always tell them to go back to the Bureau, and the Bureau would have your cards on file. I see. Were there such things as bonuses? Oh, yes. What were they paid for? Bonuses were paid for, suppose while you were meeting with, or you were at a meeting with Bobby Seals, Chulai of the Red Army happened to come to the meeting too, which is something which would be a new development. That's bonus time. In other words, a hot piece of information. Hot piece, very hot piece. Did you ever suffer pangs of conscience? Quite a few times. Quite a few times. I still suffer pangs of conscience. I suffer from the fact that a lot of people trusted me, and I misused that trust.
And see, this is the thing, y'all. And this is what they don't understand. The people that's moving like that, yo, they gonna regret this shit. Some of them might not give a fuck. But just like William O'Neal ran into traffic, killed himself, tried to kill himself 3 times. Yo, one of the worst things you can do is be a traitor to your own fucking people, man. Like, it's all fun and games to them because they making money. But one of these days, they're going to sit back and be like, damn, y'all, I can't believe I did that shit. Because these agencies, they don't give a fuck about these people. We watched the William O'Neal dude. He thought he was going to get tipped off when they raided the Black Panthers and killed Fred Hampton. Like, what the fuck made you? Yo thought he was an agent. Yo thought he was going to get tipped off for the raid. Hell no. You ain't in like that. You just a fucking pawn.
I suffer from the fact that a lot of information that I gave out was the undoing of certain groups or certain people. I suffer from the fact that I'm on the run constantly. I have no real life to speak of. You have no family life, really? You have a wife? No, I don't have a wife. I do have a child. I can't see her that often.
Yeah, for real.
I have to stay away from them because once I come around, the Bureau shows up and harassment starts. I have very few close personal friends, no one to really confide in.
Charles White said he ain't got no friends either.
It's like being on the outside of a glass jar and everything is happening inside the jar, but you're on the outside. You can see it happening, but you can't participate.
Why have you decided to talk to me?
Of course,
for the simple reason, I think this information should be getting out, should be put out to the public. I think not only black people, but everyone should become aware of what your so-called law enforcement agencies do to so-called enforce the law.
Listen to him.
Because between you, myself, and the audience, I've seen more felons in law enforcement than I have in prison.
Many would say, well, look, you yourself just got through saying that the BLA was involved in criminal activity.
They know how to pick.
What's wrong with wanting to put them in prison? How would you answer them?
I would answer them this way. First off, we have to understand why they did what they did. But I'm not even gonna go off into that psychological hoo-ha. What I'm gonna say is, when you become just as bad as the people that you go after, then there's nothing gained and a whole lot lost.
You also were active in the infiltration of many cultural groups.
Listen to this, y'all.
Before we go into that step by step, how much research and study did the FBI engage in of black culture in the late 60s?
A great amount.
Give me an idea.
From the thing is, I can. They have a file on every type of magazine that blacks read. They have a file on the music, dance, theater, actors, comedians, you name it, man.
And they would actually study these different...
Oh, yes, definitely.
What would they do with music?
To understand the people, you have to understand the culture.
You hear that? To understand the people, you have to understand. Yo, this shit is, is dirty, y'all. Like, I can't believe so many people be like, Wack, an agent, and then laugh. Like, yo, it's nothing funny about federal agents pretending to be regular citizens. It ain't never been funny. It always been detrimental. It always been detrimental. This man burnt down the Watts Writers Workshop. They used to teach kids writing, and he burnt the bitch down. Like, yo, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this shit deep.
To infiltrate, you have to understand. You had a lot of so-called white liberals that were infiltrating the so-called black groups using the information that they had gathered from the studies of blacks.
You mean just to understand the behavior pattern of our people?
Oh yeah, I can, Will Heaton could name out some jams of Miles Davis that I hadn't even heard of. He could name off some books that I hadn't even read pertaining to black culture.
Do you ever see agents actually studying the music of...
Yes. I've seen them going over even video portion of cultural events. The understanding, like when, you have an organization like
they did.
Leroy Jones Black House. You remember
they did it all at the same time.
Okay, Leroy Jones's place.
Then after they did it, then after they put the guns in the crack in the community, they came back and doubled down on the laws. Like, yo, these people are dirty. That's why I be trying to explain to people, yo, when these motherfuckers side with them people, yo, they are no good. They no good. FBI ain't never been friends of the community.
This was done on the thing of tribalism. That's where I first heard the word Kintu, Mantu, Hantu, Hantu. These words of the African continuum. I learned that from an agent He ran it down to me. They make in-depth studies of the personalities of the people they're dealing with.
I don't blame you. I be the same way, family included.
Culturally, it always helps when it's a thing of you can take their culture and use it against them.
Is that not what Wack doing? On Pyru. On Pyru, I got down. Is that not what he's doing? Is that not what Charleston White is doing? They displaying ignorance, man. Anybody that's pushing ignorance, yo, these guys are 50 years old, damn near, y'all. No, we don't act like that at 50. We don't act like Charleston White at 50. We don't act like Wack 100 at 50. So why are they pushing that? Because Wack 100 ain't no gangbanger for real. You heard how he talk. I don't even want you getting in my car if you smoke weed or smell like weed. No, he ain't no gangbanger. So why you acting? Why you playing a gangbanger online? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Why is Charleston White playing gangster online? When he said that, I ain't never been no gangster. I was a good kid growing up. I just wanted to be accepted. So he went through that situation trying to be a gangster. And he's still trying to be a gangster at 40, 50 years old. He ain't learned nothing from that situation. Man, pay attention to what's going on, man.
How large would you say an extensive collection on our culture would you say the FBI has? Would you rate it as large as a particular library, like the Schomburg Library in Harlem? Or
I would rate it better. I would rate it better, and the fact is that they go into details that we probably would overlook. Will Heaton used to meet me in different places, you know. Will Heaton, that was one of my supervisors.
No, he don't, bro. Charles ain't got no point, bro.
There is a certain
Hey, Stanford, he ain't got no point.
Los Angeles
this point's demonetized, just like Wack.
People into black cultural things met, and Will Heaton used to meet me there. And he would go into very long and tiring conversations with some very articulate brothers about culture, African culture, and Afro-American culture.
Tell me about some of the cultural organizations that you infiltrated and what you did.
Check them out.
PASLA, Mafunde, Watts Writers Workshop, which they had.
The Watts Writers Workshop?
Yes. Watts Writers Workshop, which was one of the oldest established.
No, he don't, bro.
Black.
What do he say that's real, bro? Hey, Stanford, what Charleston White say that's real? Yo, all Charleston White does is make black people look bad. That's all he does. Yo, look. All Charleston White does is speaks of the ills in the black community. Has he ever said anything positive? Doesn't even tell, like, yo, this is the thing, yo. You can't tell a story without starting at the beginning. You got to start at the beginning if you're going to tell a story. Did he ever start at the beginning? How did we get here? How did it get to a point where the black community is riddled with guns, drugs, violence? Not all, but we got a lot of communities in our that's riddled with guns. How did that happen? I never heard Charleston White speak on that shit. When have he ever spoke on it? All I hear him say is black women need to take care of their kids and black men don't want to be fathers. That ain't even the truth. Yo, black men is taking care of their kids at way higher numbers than ever before. Ever before. Have you ever heard Charleston White say that? Because I haven't. I have never heard him say that. Have you ever heard Charleston White say that black men are taking care of their kids at higher rates than ever before? I haven't. I hear Charleston White speak on 1980s and 90s talking points, but not even explain Why black men weren't taking care of their kids? Because before the FBI and the CIA came in and did a sweep, no, he don't. He want prison. He want prison, bro. That's what he want. Charleston White is trying to convince people that in order to fix the community, send them niggas to jail. His message is, if you want to fix the community, send them niggas to jail. Yo, but that's not going to fix the community. You know why? You know why, Stanford? You want to know why that's not going to fix the community? Because it's not the people. It's the community. It's the economics in the community. The community breeds criminals. The community breeds criminals. So no matter how many you lock up, if you don't fix the community, then what the fuck we doing here? What's the end goal? We just gonna lock everybody up? You see they getting younger now, right? 12, 13, 11, 10. We are so what's the end game? You're never going to fix it. Yo, locking people up is a reactive tool. It's a reactive tool, which means it happens after the fact. We gotta do things that's more before the fact. Those are the issues we got. Crime starts before it happens. Do that make sense to people? Crime starts economically way before it happens physically. Emotionally, way before it happens physically. Charles White don't say shit, man. No, you just like him. You ain't say nothing that he said was a fact yet. If you get Charles White over here, let's see if his facts hold up. Since you like him, reach out to him. Get him over here and let's see if his facts hold up. I bet you be like, damn, Charles White a fraud. Call my Instagram. Keep it G News. Charles White is selling out. That's what Charleston White is doing. He didn't admit it. He didn't admit it. He shows it. Like you sitting there vouching for a man that diss little kids, man. That disrespect the little 5-year-old girl. That just like, yo, come on, yo, like we not doing that over here, man. That's lame. There ain't no message in that. What was the message in him? What was the message? What was the message in him saying, fuck, get money, little Ronnie daughter? Where was the message in that? What was the message in him lying, saying that it wasn't no outrage for Tamir Rice? Where was the message in that? That's a fucking lie. They had protests and riots for weeks about Tamir Rice and when she died. They just in denial, man. Charles White is this guy right here. You just want to like him, bro. You just want to like him. Just say you want to like him. But don't say he got a message. That ain't going to fly here because he ain't got no message. His message is to get rich. He done told you. The man done told you. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. He told people, yo, I'm trying to get paid. I don't give a fuck about the community. But people keep saying he got a message. The fuck? No, yo. No, he don't. He stays stuff to go rival to monetize himself. Listen, bro. This is what you gotta understand, y'all. This is what you gotta understand, right? If a person say anything, can you trust him? If a person, more than likely, if a person say anything, they do anything. Is that accurate? Yo, but what the fuck that got to do with him? This is what I'm trying to explain to you. when you clout chasing, right? When you clout chasing, right? And you saying anything to bring attention to yourself, there's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to step over the moral line. You understand what I'm saying? Charleston White steps over the moral line because he wants to bring attention to himself. If you're willing to step over the line to bring attention to yourself, you don't have a fucking message. You don't have a message because your message can be compromised because you don't have integrity. If you don't have integrity, you don't have a message. Umar Johnson, look at the shit we find out about him. Thought he had a message.
Writer's workshop.
That place was burned down.
Yeah.
Now listen to this.
The Bureau had it burned down.
How do you know that?
I know because
the Watt's Writers Workshop got burnt down because he did it. That's how he know. He did it. A black man. That's what they always do. They send black people, black sellouts, to bring down black people. And the problem is, and we still have this problem, yo, we don't know how to identify these motherfuckers when we see them. I'm telling you, the boy ain't right. Motherfuckers is arguing with me in the comments. I done heard Charleston White say, I'm just a reflection of the community. He said the same fucking thing. It ain't got shit to do with that's her child, yo.
Establish black writers workshop.
That place was burned down.
Yeah. The Bureau had it burned down.
How do you know that?
Yeah, that's really him, bro. Exactly, yo, because this the thing, like you said, Black Monsters. I can't be a character. I can't say things that's just gonna hurt people's feelings because that goes against what I stand on. So if he can do that, that shows you he stands on nothing. He stands on nothing. I can't jeopardize my morals and principles for monetary gain on this internet. I can't do it. I won't do it. I can't say something I don't believe because Charles White does that. He says things he don't believe. Just because I know it's going to bring attention to myself, even if it's going to hurt some feelings, but I'm going to get a bag. That's a sellout. That is the definition of a sellout. He's doing something that's detrimental to other people for his own selfish purposes. And he's doing it against his own people. Makes it even worse. Look what he did. This is Charleston White, y'all, for people that's confused. This Charleston White father. This Charleston Black.
The arson.
You burned down the Watt's Writers.
Yes.
Why did they want it to go?
At the time, funding had been cut to the workshop, had been cut out, but it looked like there was a possibility of a grant being given back to the workshop. And if there was no theater, there would be no grant.
How did you do it?
2 cans of kerosene, a Purex bottle, gasoline, and a flare, highway flare.
Why didn't you use more sophisticated stuff?
Oh, no. You're never overly sophisticated. It's too obvious. This way you make it look like, maybe somebody in the neighborhood that got kicked out of the theater at one time, got mad and came and burned the damn theater up, that kind of thing.
But you were involved in this theater? I mean, didn't
people that don't know what we're
get
looking
to
at.
you at all what you were...
Hey, man, that got to me a great deal. I love that theater. I built the stage.
You
built the fucking stage
Oh, yeah.
and burnt the bitch
when
down.
I got to the workshop, the stage that had been, the original stage that had been built needed an extension on it. The original part of the stage was in terrible condition. They had no lighting system. I put the lighting system in myself. I put the stage in myself. And that was a stage, man. And that was a theater. It's a nice theater.
And burnt the bitch down.
Who was the director of that workshop?
Harry Dolan.
Harry Dolan. Some very, very well-known artists supported that workshop, gave money to it.
Some very well-known artists came out of the Watts Writers Workshop. You know, Glenn Tubman, Yaphet Kotto, Sidney Poitier used to come down there and give a class. Sammy Davis Jr. used to come down there all the time.
Yo, burnt the bitch down.
Quincy Jones used to come there and give music classes. We had our own 8-track studio setup for sound. We had our own sound room there.
Was part of your other activities and responsibilities to study the profiles of celebrities who were supportive of organizations?
Definitely, and especially, like I said, psychological backgrounds, weaknesses and strengths. Did he have a weakness for blondes? Did he have a weakness for money? Did he snort cocaine? Did he smoke marijuana?
He's just breaking down how the feds infiltrate and what they told him, how they told him to move. Ain't no different than what Wack 100 did to Luce Cannon. Strengths and weaknesses. This is how you can break them down. This is how you can cut into them. Yo, these people are strategic, y'all. Like, this is people gotta understand. Like, I don't know why people think this is a game or a joke or it's a conspiracy theory. Yo, this is real. This is how they always infiltrated. And if you know anything about this internet, it's people making a lot of money. So it's you gotta have your infiltrators in. Whenever it's a new avenue of means of money, especially for the black community, yo, we gotta get some infiltrators in there. That's a fact. That's a must. That way we can direct traffic.
They even get into, and that's one thing the Bureau loves is their sexual background. They have files and files on different blacks, not only celebrities, but a lot of others, sexual activity.
What would they do with this information?
Oh, that's used as a weakness.
So they would feed to these weaknesses?
Yes.
Did you see that happen?
Oh, yes. Doc Holliday, who is one of the leaders of the BGF, Black Gorilla Family, which is a prison gang, and the California state prison system. Upon his release from prison, a certain sister made herself known to him at a nightclub, whereupon
I did not know,
he moved in with her.
I did not know Doc Holliday was I didn't know Doc Holliday was part of BGF. Who's Doc Holliday? Is that a singer? Or is that a fucking a gang member? No, it's Billie Holiday is the singer. Let me run that back. Somebody find out who Doc Holliday is.
Which is a prison gang.
Oh, he one of the founders.
And
Gotcha.
The California state prison system. Upon his release from prison, a certain sister made herself known to him at a nightclub, whereupon he moved in with her, and she picked up names, telephone numbers, information, you know, that kind of thing.
So they sent the broad at him. This is how diabolical these people. They sent the broad at him, man. He thinking he falling in love with the girl the whole time. She's a fucking federal agent. Now they said this was illegal practices, yo, but they never stopped. That's similar to what they say. Yeah, we stopped with the HARP, you know, we stopped with this program. Yeah, all right. You're not going to invest this much money into something, then just stop. Like, who the fuck you think you talking to? We ain't children. You know, we got common sense, I think.
That lasted for...
No, it's not entrapment. See, yo, the feds, see, this what I learned when it come out of the feds and entrapment, right? If you're already dibbling, dabbling in that type of lifestyle. They can send somebody your way. Now, they can't, if you just working a straight job, they can't send nobody to you to try to sell you some drugs or try to get you into the drug game. But if you in the drug game already, they can send somebody to you and transition that into what they want it to be. That's not entrapment. Federal law. I learned that from one of them damn cases we covered. No, we didn't cover so many cases.
For a good 3.5 months.
Was this an unusual thing, or did this happen often?
No, that happens all the time.
Did you yourself get involved in doing that?
Yes.
It's definitely unethical as a motherfucker.
Give me an example.
Definitely unethical.
There was a gentleman that was on trial in Los Angeles that belonged to the BLA that had been busted in a southern state for a bank robbery, but was brought with 2 other people to Los Angeles to stand trial for the machine gunning of a police officer in Los Angeles. I was supposed to worm my way into the infections of his sister and whatever it took to get the information that I needed as far as what kind of defense they planned to use.
They set them on the system.
As to turn this information over to the federal prosecution.
Did you do it?
And that's what I think they did with Wack with Luce. I think, yo, they was listening to wiretaps. This is my theory, y'all. I think they was listening to them wiretaps. They realized Luce Cannon and Big U fell out, and they put Wack on them. That's what I think happened. Because that's how these people operate. I think they put Wack on them, and, you know, they did what they did. Ran their move. Got them all booked.
I got the information, and thank God I didn't have to go through with the actual thing of sexual activity.
What do you mean, thank God?
The sister was rather unappealing.
How did you justify to the organizations in which you had infiltrated yourself that you were living on an $800 a week stipend or on an $800 a week standard of living when most of them were living hand to mouth?
Well, hey, brother, you know, I'm hustling, you know. I mean, hey, man, you know, so a little this on the side, a little that on the side, you know, I get over, you know, that kind of thing. In other words, ain't nobody's business but mine where I get the money. So, you know, everybody took it for granted that I was possibly doing a little dealing on the side. That kind of thing. Then also, everybody liked me for the simple reason that I would do things that I didn't have to do. I would go out of my way. You know, like Mafundi would have a pageant and they needed someone to do the sound setup for him. And I'd say, of course, I'll do it for you. You know, that kind of thing. I was very well liked at one time in the community.
That's crazy.
Would you say to American citizens that this situation of surveillance and infiltration continues to this day?
Oh, yes.
On the dimension that you experienced?
Probably much larger by now.
Larger?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all think it's that?
Let me put it to you like this.
Y'all think it's
Each
that?
year, everything.
What year this probably was in the 80s. Yup. It's 2025. I can just imagine what they doing now. So in 2025, is it so far? Is it too far of a stretch of the imagination to think, yo, it's federal informants on YouTube? In 2025, is it a stretch of the imagination to say, yo, some of these influencers are working with the federal government to arrest people? Not in my mind. I don't know how y'all think.
Gradually escalated up more and more. So I figured when I left, it didn't stop escalating. As they say, one monkey does not stop anybody's show.
You mentioned Sammy Davis Jr., who at one time, it was reported, gave money to the Black Panther Party, I believe. Were you ever assigned to look into that?
Yes, I was told to try to get as close to Mr. Davis or to anyone in his office as I could. I used to go up and have real chit-chat, chummy conversation with his personal secretary, Ann, at the 9000 building on Sunset. And I used to bring a quarterback video camera. And I used to go around and I would videotape the whole office.
You mean celebrities would be coming into his office and you'd film them freely?
Exactly,
Oh, yeah. Didn't they question that? I'm from the Rights Writers Workshop. Yeah, right on, brother. You know, that kind of thing. No questions asked. Same thing with the NAACP Image Awards.
Wow.
You know, they were very interested in people like Sammy Davis Jr. There was another black in Los Angeles. That
you remember Sammy Davis Jr. got killed by that lady that was a federal informant. Y'all remember that? Didn't he get killed in the hotel by the federal informant lady? Wasn't Sammy Davis Jr. killed by a federal informant? Or am I tripping? I'm talking about something else. Was Sammy Davis Jr. killed by a federal informant in a hotel?
According to FBI.gov, Samuel George Sammy Davis, Jr. was a famous singer, actor, and entertainer. A civil rights proponent, he became the subject of a limited FBI domestic security investigation.
No, that was Sam Cooke. All right, that was Sam Cooke. Got you. All right, that was Sam Cooke that was killed by the FBI agent. My bad. Thanks, JR.
Because not Los Angeles, but in Sacramento, Nathaniel Colley, who's attorney for the NAACP, and I know Nat, and they wanted information on him, just for the simple reason that he's an attorney for the NAACP, which makes no sense to me.
He killed Sam Cooke, and ain't want Sam Cooke to drop that song. I was born on a river. They killed him for that shit, man.
Use the information. You've been called upon to testify in Washington. Before who? Before the Senate Committee. I was called first to testify before the Church Committee. And I did go to Washington, D.C. I did testify to those people. And I want to say right now that the committee was full of smack. They got loads and loads of information. Didn't even use it. Didn't release it. I had tapes that I offered to them in evidence against the Federal Bureau of Investigation with conversations of me and my supervising officer where he's telling me to obtain certain articles for him by stealing. Don't get fingerprints on it. We can really use that. Did you take the weapons over to such and such? The Church Committee told me that they couldn't use the tapes because the tapes were gotten by illegal means.
What would you say about the composition of the committee panel that questioned you?
I can say that's for the birds too, because the same people that I was talking about were the same people on the panel with the church's committee.
Sound like the rap and hip hop.
When I came in the room to be interviewed by the so-called people from the church's committee,
the
representatives from the Federal Bureau of Investigations were also in the room.
FBI agents were a member of the Church Committee panel.
They were there with the investigators for the church's committee asking questions just like the church's committee. And see, this is another thing that I find fault with, and this is another reason why I am not going to Washington, D.C. It's that, again,
I wonder what happened.
I have
they
been
probably killed his ass.
asked to come again for the second time. I'm not going again. For the simple reason that when I went up there with the idea that there were agencies investigating the Federal Bureau of Investigation, not the Federal Bureau of Investigation investigating itself.
But I tell you,
you're on the lam.
He thought they was loyal to him.
Do you have a sense that you're going to be arrested and go to prison?
Oh yeah, eventually. Eventually, when things come to a head, it has to be that way. No other way around it.
What would you say to citizens who sit and listen to what you've said and have a sense of frustration and helplessness?
There are some agents, the old line agents, that disagree with the tactics that were used during the so-called COINTEL period. But one thing I don't want us to jump off of is that people always they're talking about COINTEL now so heavily. I'm not talking about COINTEL. I'm talking about a thing called BD, which was better known as Black Death.
What?
The Black Desk was set up for a simple thing of infiltrating black organizations and black groups, whatever.
Where was this Black Desk, or were there a number of them?
There were a number of Black Desks, but the head Black Desk was in Washington, D.C., controlled by Sullivan. And
Was he black?
No.
Mm-hmm. And what was the function of the Black Desks all over the country? I guess there were dozens.
The function of the Black Desk was to monitor activity, social unrest, revolutionary groups, cultural groups, and such in the black community.
And feed it into this central desk.
And it still exists? As far as I know, yes.
We've seen a number of investigations into the assassination of Martin Luther King. We've seen an extended police trial of the assassination of Malcolm X. What you seem to say substantiates what many black people say out on the street, that government agents or agencies knew that these assassinations were brewing and either participated in them or allowed them to take place.
It would behoove black people, it would behoove all people, really, to question so-called the cut and dry one lone assassin theory. The Bureau and other intelligence agencies are very good at conspiracies. They are very good at setting people up to be killed. They are very good at making innuendos so the person will be killed.
City police don't know about because they have policemen in there. They don't let black people form anything without some policemen in there. And while I was in the Black Muslim movement, many of the police who were sent to infiltrate us, they're black, would tell me, say, look, I'm a cop, but I have to come. They would tell me. I knew the Muslim movement was full of police. So don't you think anything is going down that they don't know about? The only thing that goes down is what they want to go down. And what they don't want to go down, they don't let it go down.
Man, people better wake the fuck up, man. This motherfucker Wack 100. Keep trying to tell people, man. Check them out.
About the line. But listen, nevertheless.
This was 2 years ago.
So what's going on?
Hey, Brick.
What up, Chump?
Are we good?
Yeah, it's love.
Well, I don't think you guys should be good so quickly because you are out here trying to convince the whole world that he's a snitch, one of the worst labels you could put on a motherfucker from the streets.
Listen, I got questions, Brick.
Yeah.
All right. On the video, you caught about 4 straight Class A felonies in Georgia, back to back in the span of 2 years.
Yeah.
And you never went to prison. What the fuck happened?
I had a great attorney. I went to trial. How you say that shit disappeared when I went to trial on the gun case?
There's been a lot of shit going on in LA. A bunch of going to jail and getting out. And ain't telling nobody they went to jail. But I'm going to stay tuned. I ain't going to say nothing on this one. I'm going to sit back and watch the show. Just know. Like to come on here and be funny about what is lying about. I want to talk about the real. If you we want to see that bail receipt. We want to see why the fuck you out of jail. Because your own homies is called early in the morning talking about just went to jail and now they out. And the social media was down 3-4 days. Now it's back on all of a sudden. You on it. Wack, what the fuck is going on? You got from your neighborhood telling us 3 weeks ago some gonna get picked up on RICOs. 3 weeks later, picked up by the federales. How the fuck did you know that you was gonna get picked up 3 weeks prior? Whole lot going on. Well, that's up to you real all outside. Y'all just remember I spoke on it today, so when it hit and it break, I'm gonna sit back and laugh.
That was 2 years ago, man. Man's a fucking agent. People keep thinking he funny. Keep supporting that fuck shit. Boy's a fucking agent. Ain't nothing funny. Ain't nothing never been funny about federal agents. Now, speaking on federal agents, Famous Richard, who talked himself to jail and thinks NBA Youngboy is working. So Famous Richard said NBA Youngboy is telling This is third time getting released from the feds within 4 years on new charges. On King David, you can't do 10 months off a 23-month sentence. What the F? My first offer was 5 for a pipe that the police put on me. Dude, most definitely 12. He probably the reason Smirk locked up. I ain't say this, y'all. Hey, y'all know what I've been saying about the boy. Hey, Mo, what's up with your man? Famous Richard called him out. Famous Richard, they said he tried to give him 5 years. His record, his jacket ain't nowhere near close to NBA YoungBoy's. YoungBoy got charges dating back to a teenager. Adult charges, though, dating back to a teenager. Multiple gun charges. Did 27-month prison sentence. I don't even know if he even did, how much time he do on a bitch. Did he even do a year? How much time your young boy did on this case? I don't know. I'm going to tell you, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. See, but this is my theory on young boy. This is why I don't trust young boy, right? And I said this before for the people that's been found. If you go back, right? Go back to 2019. Go back to the Rolling Loud shooting. Yeah, yo, it don't make sense, Baltimore, right? Go back to the Rolling Loud shooting, right? Where young boy supposed to got into it with T Grizzly and that, right? Young boy was on probation at that time. Young boy got booked for that shooting with a valet driver or parking attendant, whatever he was, he got killed. Young boy got booked for that. I remember vividly the judge saying, yo, I highly doubt if he don't go to prison for this. It don't matter. It don't matter. You violate. It don't matter. You violate, bro. This is what the judge said. I'm ready to just run it down to y'all what happened. So somehow, some way, young boy sits for like maybe 3 months or 6 months. He sat for a little while. Now, in the process of him sitting, NBA Big B got booked for G Money murder. Pab got booked for G Money murder. NBA Big B got booked for a case in 2016. The young boy took the 10-year suspended sentence on. He got booked for a case that was 3 years old. Think about that, y'all. A case that was final. Young boy was on papers for it. Mind you, this is 2019. Big B got booked for a case from 2016. Pab gets booked for the G Money murder. He also just pled guilty to the gun. After that, young boy comes home. I'm like, oh, the fuck was that? I'm like, am I the only one that seen that? I remember the judge saying, hold up. He ain't just come home. He didn't just come home. They canceled out the rest of his probation. Then he catches the case in Baton Rouge. Put him on a box. I think he violated on the box. Got back home, sent them to Utah. Put on the box for 4 years. Catch it. Yo, it beats the federal gun case. Still on the box, though, for the Baton Rouge shit. Because when they tried to lock him up for the Baton Rouge shit, he got booked out in California for another firearm when he took him on the chase. So he beat the California case. The Baton Rouge case, I think they ended up throwing some of the key evidence out. Make a long story short, he caught the Baton Rouge case, caught a case in Utah. They consolidate both the cases. Mind you, at this time, he got caught with 4 firearms. 4 different occasions. 3 different occasions. No, 2 different occasions, 4 firearms. They gave him 27 months. They gave him 27 months. This after he beat the feds. Yo, if y'all know how this shit works. You beat the feds? And they give you 27 months? And So they got a second chance. Right. They got a second chance to get you, and they cut you another break and consolidate your Utah case. Now he back home already? Man, look, this is what I think what happened with YoungBoy. I think NBA YoungBoy was powerful as a motherfucker. NBA YoungBoy was like Michael Jackson. As far as influence, if y'all remember when YoungBoy first came out, yo, it was people walking like him, talking like him, dressing like him, looking like him. You know what I mean? And I think the feds recognized that. He had too much power. We got to get him. Because this is the thing, yo. Influence is important. Your power is important. If a person got too much power, ain't no telling how you going to use it. Remember YoungBoy wanted to quit gangster rap? Remember YoungBoy said, I ain't rapping gangster no more? That shit lasted for what? 2 songs? That shit lasted 2 songs. Y'all remember that, right? NBA YoungBoy says his music caused violence. NBA YoungBoy regrets rapping about violence. Hold up. Y'all remember this? God dang.
Actually, I'm responsible for when it comes to my music. How many kids and people have gotten in the car or put this shit in their ears and actually hurt someone? And now I'm sitting back like, damn, I can't do it all in one day, but I promise to clean whatever I can clean. But it's gonna take time. Actually, I'm responsible for when it comes to.
Man, that lasted for 2 songs. That lasted for 2 songs. And he got back on bullshit. See, this is what I'm saying, y'all. NBA YoungBoy was powerful as a motherfucker. And the following he had, right? But he not as powerful as he once was. And I think that's why they kept him on the box that long. I think that's why they sent him through all this shit, because somewhere along the line, I think he made a deal with them people. This is just my opinion. Y'all can agree or disagree. I stand on it. I think somewhere along the line, around that timeline, he got in bed with them people, man. And they fucked him. Put him on the box for 4 years. Yo, we ain't never seen nobody on the box for no motherfucking 4 years. Killed his motherfucking influence. Because if he was to ever really get like this, if YoungBoy would have had that influence and say, yo, I ain't on that gangster shit no more. Yo, you know how much that could have changed things? But you see, once he said this, he switched. That shit lasted for maybe 1, maybe 2 songs. Stop the Violence. We had Stop the Violence mixtape, and that was it. Remember he was doing shit like this?
Again, why you think I ain't planning on dropping it to next year? I done made over 100 songs. I ain't talk about nothing dealing with no violence or no gun. I barely put something in there, but I still tell you, protect yourself at the same time. Stop dick sucking and stop the violence. Stop hating, son. Again, why you think I ain't planning on dropping it to next year?
That shit ain't last long at all. Like he must got a phone call about that. Nah, bro. That ain't That ain't the deal. It's 2 years ago. Go listen to his last song, see what he talking about. I think he got like this when he realized they fucked him. Then he started bucking. He started bucking.
Mr. Garden.
Hey, stop the violence. Hey, look at me. I can promise you, it's a bigger side of life. Stop the violence. You could be a rich nigga, you hear me? I can promise you. I'm talking about, I ain't gonna tell you what's in my bank account, bitch, but hey, stop the violence. You hear me? Thank you.
I'm telling you, yo, I think Famous Richard is right. That, yo, if y'all think that 27 months, see, this the thing, yo, money, Dirk got money. Yo, money only, Diddy got money. Sometimes, yo, that shit ain't just about money, man.
You said that the music, like, in terms of getting paid, it's like the biggest thing in all your art.
Because it's a nice industry that I chose to be a part of. So it's like I accept that I run with it, but don't be a dummy at the same time. You gotta understand they're using me as entertainment, and this shit becomes self-destruction too. Cause I ain't no entertainer. You know, some shit can't be spoke on. Why? My good shit is to be continued.
Yeah.
In terms of like every time too much money. You said,
no, he got mad at him. He said too much. He made a deal with them people, man. They fucked him over though. They had a man on the box for 4 years and they give him credit for none of the time. Fucked him over. Then he started bucking. So they locked his ass up. All right, you want to play games? Y'all got to realize, y'all, how the fuck did NBA YoungBoy, how was he even able? Think about this. If you knew anything about how his home monitor was set up in Utah, very strict. Security guards, everything. You mean to tell me y'all ain't know this man was busting scripts? They ain't know he was busting scripts. The federal government didn't know he was busting scripts. I refuse to believe that. They saying he started bucking. He was on the box for 4 years, and they said, "All right, you want to play a little? You want to play a dumbass game? We was gonna let you beat the case. Yeah, you was gonna beat it. Yeah, we got something for your motherfucking ass." Yeah, but shit, I mean, Kodak went to prison a lot of times, or at least jail a lot of times. Young boy not even going to jail, man. Young boy getting 30 days, 3 months. Man, young boy record fucking highest train, longest train smoke. Young boy home. Young boy is home, man. Already. Just quit 27 months. He home. Young boy home, man. At least a halfway house for 30 days. Let me see if I saved it. In a halfway house for 30 days. Thought I saved it. If you remember, Dirk used to call him a rat. Just got out the feds, you bring up murders with your police ass. Remember Dirk said that? Sean Kingston, Ray fuck around, go to prison.
Jury selection is now complete in the federal fraud case against rapper and singer Sean Kingston and his mother.
He always getting out, yo. Like, yo, that's not normal, yo. Your money only gonna take you but so far, yo. We know how the system works. Eventually, money can't save you. Young boy should have been at the point where money couldn't save him. Should have been at the point money couldn't save him. Because it gets to a point where now you're making us look bad. We keep giving you chances. We keep giving you chances. You keep fucking up. Now we gotta sit you down for a long time. Not no 27 months.
9 women and 4 men. Last year, the two were indicted in South Florida, accused of committing more than $1 million worth of fraud.
NBC 6's Shernea Marr was in the courtroom and takes a closer look at the legal battle.
Beautiful girl. Singer Sean Kingston, whose real name is Keshawn Anderson, is facing the possibility of spending 2 decades behind bars after he and his mother, 61-year-old Janice Turner, were charged by a grand jury with wire fraud and conspiracy. Last May, NBC6 cameras captured the moment Broward deputies seized cars and raided a Southwest Ranches mansion rented by Kingston. He wasn't home then, but his mother was arrested.
This is a organized, systematic fraud.
On the day of the raid, we spoke with attorney Dennis Carr, who filed a lawsuit against Kingston on behalf of a home entertainment system company.
Jury selection is now complete in the federal fraud case.
That same day, a U-Haul truck picked up a 232-inch TV, which Kingston is seen posing in front of in this photo.
He's got basically a script. He says that he works with Justin Bieber, and that he obviously puts on a big show here. This is a rental house. He doesn't own it. And he lures people using his celebrity into having them release things without him paying for it, and then he simply never pays.
Shernea Marr, NBC 6 News. That same day, a U-Haul truck picked up a 232-inch...
Yeah, yo, we just living in some wild times, man.
Against rap.
I say question all these motherfuckers. Listen to Jaylen Brown.
You know, dealing with the media, dealing with, you know, like corporate America, dealing with, you know, all these things that, you know, people of culture gotta, you know, deal with in order to feed their family. It's tough. It's tough. It's a running joke in my organization and in Boston, and people be like, yo, Jaylen never smile.
Yo, Frederick Douglass.
they call me Sunshine. You know, like, here comes Sunshine. It's because I can't be that way in this space when I know, like, y'all don't operate on the same principles that I operate on. It's not honor. It's not nobility. They hide, you know, being mischievous through business, and that's the norm for them. But like I was raised, like if I'm gonna walk through a door, I'm gonna walk through the front door. Not trying to come through the side and all that, the angles, and I'm coming through the back, trying to climb through the window. Like if I got something I gotta say, like that's how I think business should be done. Like I think business should be fair. I don't want nobody leaving from this experience feeling they got hustled or some taken advantage of. Like, that's not how corporate America works. That's not how America works. You know, it's a lack of nobility. It's a lack of honor. So to have to walk in that and pretend like I don't know what's going on, ain't nothing to smile about. That's real.
I'm 19 keys, and this is a high-level conversation.
I fuck with y'all. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. We living in wild times, y'all, but don't ever think that these people ain't working. For real. Like that's what I believe. Don't ever discredit that shit as a conspiracy theory or whatever. Man, that shit real, man. These agencies, my bad. These agencies always operated like that. They always operated. You know, they gotta get their guys in, yo. Like I always talking about Charleston White, yo. Like, yo, we don't act like Wack 150. So why are they doing that? You know, it's just question, why are they doing that? We talking about 50-something-year-old men, 40, damn near 50-year-old men with money. Why are they being so ignorant online? Why do they want that to be? Why do they want that to be us? You know what I mean? They don't do that. They don't do that shit to no other group of people. But for some reason, for us, they want that to be who we are. Man, I gotta ride to the store, man. Hold up, yo. I gotta drop the black mouth in this bitch. I be dropping them bitches. Hold up. It's a dirty game, man. I gotta ride to the store. Dirty game, dirty game. My man Wack say, don't do it, Eugene. Hey, y'all, I ain't never gonna let Wack 100 lay that down. We're gonna be doing that shit all year. He is never gonna be able to get from under that shit. All that gangster shit he talk. You just gotta understand, yo. You gotta be very scared to scream a person's first name, last name, middle name, nickname. Like you gotta be very scared. And that's what Wack 100 was, a Big U. Only way he can beat Big U is if he weaponized the internet against him. That was the only way he can beat him. Couldn't beat him no other way. Big U was too powerful. And it probably wasn't necessarily him. He was able to galvanize the people. Or at least manipulate them, however you want to look at it. I think Wack 100 was scared of that. He didn't like the fact that Big U had power. Yo, sit down. Every time, sit down. He ain't like the fact that Big U had power. So he put them together. But that's dirty. That's dirty, y'all. Yo, we never respected people that aligned themselves with the federal government. I can't believe that today we accepting it. We accepting that shit. Niggas is really aligning themselves with the federal government. And people saying, well, Charles White said he was a rat. No, man, he ain't no rat. He's a fucking agent. Just like, allegedly, just like Wack 100. Like I always tell y'all, the loudest voices online, but they don't have, you would think that they would have run-ins often, wouldn't you? Loud as they is online, wouldn't you think often they would have back and forths, disagreements, disputes? Nope. They don't though. Why? Why they don't ever disagree on nothing? Now, when Charleston first came, they was having a little back and forth, but that probably was just to, to build up his name, to help him build his name up. They ain't had a dispute in years. And with all the stuff Wack did, they rarely even asked Charleston about it. Just saying, yo, we gotta pay attention to what's going on, y'all, because it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. Shit ain't getting no better. Hell yeah, that's what it always been. You gotta think, y'all. It's a lot. It's people making a lot of money off this internet. Not me, but it's other people making a lot of money off this internet, man. So they gotta control that. They gotta control that. They can't just have no anybody. You know what I mean? You can't just have no anybody making $30,000 a month. What the fuck? That's a danger. You know what I mean? Don't do it, Eugene. He'll say, Eugene. That's the new thing over here, y'all. People that's confused. When Wack 100 seen Big U at the Novo, he was scared as a bitch. Eugene, don't do it. Eugene Henley, no. Yeah. All the motherfucking fades. All them fades he been offering online. And all Big U wanted to do was break his jaw. He was scared to death. Then look, then he go get mad at Trap Lord Ross for exposing him. Hey yo, that's what y'all gotta do, y'all. I need to start saying that shit in the comments. Hell yeah, Rod, you ain't see that in the paperwork? Go to the video I did on the paperwork. We had a field. We still having a field day out that shit. Yo, say Eugene, Draws, don't do it, Draws. and then try to lie, talking about, see, I'm ready to tell you something that y'all don't know. I had 3 guys. I had one at 2 o'clock, one at 12 o'clock. It's police language. You know, you start talking about a clock, that's police language. And I was speaking in codes. Yo said then I was speaking in codes. Like, man, you said your dumb ass there. Just say you was scared, bro. God damn, everybody been scared before, man. I don't think anybody been that scared. What? Niggas, people done been scared. Oh yeah. Yo said Eugene Henley. First he called him Eugene. Don't do it, Eugene. Eugene, don't do it. Eugene Henley. Eugene Henley. Look. And then when he had to explain it, he tried to say, well, why they ain't get out? Bitch, what the fuck you mean why they ain't get out? With the fucking prison. Everybody try to kill your dumb ass or beat you up and go to prison. Yeah, Wack 100 funny as shit. Well, he's not funny. He's really despicable. But him trying to spin that narrative was funny. What's up, Mel? Mel was be popping up out of nowhere. Him trying to spin that narrative was insane. They gonna get mad at Trap Lil Ross. They gonna get mad at Trap Lil Ross. They gonna get mad at the computer geek. Adam said, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. That was a funny ass, whatever the fuck they want to call that shit, the Federal 5. That shit was a funny ass interview. Yo said, Adam said, what you gave him a pass? Yo answer, did he give him a pass? The Trap Lil Ross is like, well, so you was the threat. He said, so if you was the threat, why nothing happened? Hey, yo, they clowned this dumb ass over there. The top agent. I think Wack the top agent. Hey, yo, that shit is funny, yo. Hey, yo. And then, look, this is the thing, right? It ain't about him being scared. You know, people be scared. The thing is, what Wack is, he portrays this super tough guy on the internet. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody never did nothing to him. He always stand tall. He gonna get down. But then he had the opportunity to get down, and he got low. That's the fuck he did. He got low. He got little as a bitch. He probably would have heard from him if he could. Y'all would have heard from him. Grown ass man hiding from other grown men. That's what he would have did if he could have got away with it. Yo, he said his whole name, yo. He said his name. He said his first name first. Then he said his last name. Then he said his first and last name. Then he said his nickname. Then he said his name that his mother used to call him when he was 3. Like, he said every name. Imagine. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. What's up, bro? Let me get 3 black and mild regular. Classic. Which one? Classic regular. 3 of them. You said black with white? Regular, original. They missed. You gotta watch the video. I did a video on him. That shit's hilarious. He's not doing that. Yeah, they is, y'all. They dirty. We just ain't gonna let them spin the narrative like how they wanna spin it. They trying to spin the narrative like they ain't do nothing. We not letting them do that. That shit got something to rank. Thanks, bro. Yeah, we not letting them do that, man. We gonna keep that shit real, bro. You was scared, man. You was so scared you called the man whole name, man. Called the man whole name, bro. and then gonna try to act like he could have still done something. Yeah, he could have, but he went straight to prison, and you know that. Only time a person does that is if they trying to send you to prison. It's alright. It's like, all right, if you gonna do this, your ass going to prison. Only time a person does it, do some shit like that. Oh, I got something to drink right here. Gotta had this early. My man said Eugene Henley. I'm gonna get that nigga the blues into further notice. Until I decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna lay off Wack. But I don't think I can, y'all, because he's an agent, and I don't like what he doing. But like I told y'all, they gonna regret it. All the ones that's selling out and doing all that goofy ass shit, pushing stereotypes, going on them dumbass Zeus networks and fighting and shit. Like, all that shit is goofy. Yo, that shit is goof troop shit. Like, you couldn't pay me, right? I don't give a fuck what the card says. Yo, you're not getting me on Zeus network to fight. You understand what I'm saying? Go up that bitch to fight over Erica Mena. Like, what the fuck I look like, yo? What the fuck are we? What is this, high school? Grown ass man, you over there bitch fighting. Got us looking stupid. Cause y'all gotta realize, y'all, it's people in the world, right? Only time they see black people is in those type of moments. So their perception is built off of black Americans based off of what they see on social media. That's what makes it dangerous. So it validates a lot of the mistreatment that we get in this country. It validates it. That's why they're called sellouts. Like, you over this bitch pushing stereotypes, bro, that we trying to move away from. Because at the end of the day, 90% of the black community don't sell drugs. You know what I mean? 90% of the black community ain't killing people. 90% of the black community ain't loud, ignorant, obnoxious. But if you look at the internet, that's what it tells you. You get me? If you look at the internet, that's what it tells you. So for people that never been around us, never had no run-ins with us, their perception is built off of that. Similar to what they did to the black man in the 90s. All them movies that we love, the Menace to Societies and the New Jack Cities and what else? The Boys in the Hood and the South Central. All of those videos was videos to damage our image. Damage our image. Now we can push these crack laws. If we make, yeah, but why that shit was way later on. That shit was in the 2000s. That shit kind of calmed down after. Yo, they've been doing this shit to us all the way up until the 2000s. Like, they just really started, like, as far as the black man, they focusing on the black woman right now. It's the black woman turn. That's why you got the Sexy Reds and the Sukianas and the baddies and the Zeus networks and the, you know what I mean? All they doing is selling out. So they ruining the image of the black woman. Because a lot of black men is waking up. A lot of black men realize that we was lied to. We got sold this dream of the streets and how you can make money. And we had Big Meech's story to be a motherfucking prototype of how far you can go in the drug game, just to find out Big Meech was a rat. Big Meech ain't there standing on all 10. People gotta understand, imagery is real, man. Imagery is real. Perception is reality. It might not be our reality, but it's somebody's. How we perceive to the people creates their reality of us. That's why, yo, so we gotta guard our image. But the problem is we're not in control of our image. Because we ain't got the money on a large scale. And for the people that do got the money, they rather just stay quiet and keep the money because they know they can be taken down too. Look at what they did with look at Diddy's situation. They a fucking billionaire. They hit his ass with trumped up charges. Told the world he sex trafficked and he got 2,000 victims. Shit was a fucking lie. The thing is though, right? If you're gonna go against the grain, you gotta know what come with it. I complain about them fucking up my channel or playing with my channel the way they do, but I ain't surprised. They've been doing this shit to me since I've been on the internet. This shit started at Facebook first. But I'd rather go this way and push the line than go the other way and become a sellout. I don't give a fuck how much money I can get. That shit ain't that deep. You know, it was a time when we said things like, oh, money wasn't good money. That don't even exist no more. Yo, Wack 100 just said on a Federal 5 podcast that having your name in paperwork is good promo. Yo said that, a black man. A black man said having your name in federal paperwork is promo. A black man, y'all. Think about that. That lets you know, do black people talk like that? Do black men talk like that? I don't think we do, y'all. I don't think I ever heard no black man say no shit like that before. Yo said that shit. And motherfuckers ain't there call him out for it. Yo said that shit was good promo. Like, damn, bro, good promo, huh? I don't, that's like mom's going. Yeah, I don't need it that bad, yo. It ain't that deep, yo. If I got, I was just telling my girl that shit. If I gotta sell out to get it, then I won't get it. And I sleep comfortable. Because this the thing, y'all. William O'Neal. The guy that I was talking about earlier. The guy that participated in the assassination of Fred Hampton. He thought he was an FBI agent. He thought they had his best interest. He thought he was on the same team as him. Did an interview, and we watched the interview before. I can't watch that. That interview was disgusting. I ain't gonna lie. I was mad all night after that interview. But it's on my page. And he talked about how he didn't think he did nothing wrong. But, right? The man tried to kill himself 3 times. He killed himself eventually. Ran into traffic. 3 times. Ran into traffic. Tried to commit suicide. Y'all know the suicide rate for the rich is higher than it is for the poor. And the reason I think, especially when it comes out of these entertainers, is because a lot of times they're being paid to be something opposite of who they are. That goes against nature. You know, you getting all this money and you either selling your people out or they paying you to be something that you aren't. That gotta be a stressful life. How many years you think you can do that before you had enough? You know what I mean? Before you had enough, how many years you think you could just sell out your people? Be a detriment to your community before you sit back and look in the mirror and be like, damn, I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, I got some money. But look what the fuck I had to do to get it. Like all these podcasters are sending people to jail, man. Prison. DJ Academics. We supported DJ Academics. All DJ Academics ever did was sell us out. Do I think all rich people sell people out? What the fuck did I say? All rich people sell people out? I don't think that's what I said. I don't think that's what I said. Ain't nothing all. You know what I mean? Oh, goodness. Hold on. Let's be trying to wake y'all up to what's going on, man. We living in a wild world, man. It's a motherfucking dirty game out here, you heard me. It's a dirty game out here, you heard me. And it's basically if you're gonna play or you ain't. I can't play that game. I can't play that game. Because I gotta still be able to look at myself in the mirror, man. A lot of these people, they can't look at themselves in the mirror. They look at themselves, they soulless. Like Charleston White. That's why he's able to do the things that he do. Just think of how immoral you gotta be, right? Like I told y'all, I wouldn't be able to survive knowing I got a friend of mine 99 years in prison. Yo, that shit would eat me alive, man. That'll eat me alive, yo. I got a friend of mine 99 years in prison. 99 years as a kid? Oh my God, yo. Man, that would burn me up every day I wake up in the morning. I fuck around be trying to figure out a way to get him home. That'd be my life mission. I gotta figure out a way to get this motherfucker home, man. God damn, y'all. I got your 99 years in prison. Regardless of the situation, he was a kid. He was a kid, man. $99 fucking years, y'all. But that's why he's able to do the things he does online. You know what I mean? He's able to get online and say these disrespectful things, disrespect people dead, family members, and do shit like that because he don't have any morals. He don't stand on anything. He's flawed. Character flawed. Right, Mo. How crazy is that? But Doolittle don't deserve a second chance. He was 15 too. Like people say, well, Charles White was 14. Well, Doolittle was 15. Stand on the goddamn thing. Stand on what's right. Stand on integrity, morals, principles. Not selling out my people for monetary gain. Yeah, yo, it just ain't nothing cool about that, man. Ain't nothing cool about that. I couldn't live with it. I just don't know how you like. But that's why, I was talking to Big Ant, Arab politicians. He brought up a good point. That's how he's able to do the things he do. He's reflecting. That man miserable inside, man. He miserable. So he's reflecting the negativity that he's feeling inside. It's the only way he know how to deal with it. You know, like they say, hurt people hurt people. That's a real ass statement. I didn't even realize how real that was until probably a couple years ago. That is a real ass statement, y'all. Hurt people hurt people. And it might not even be intentional. That's just the only way they know how to, they hurt. It's the only way they know how to deal with situations is to hurt other people. That man broken, man. That's why it's no way I can say he has a message. He ain't got no message. How? How does he have a message? All he does is disrespect. All he does is push stereotypes. Like I said, like I was saying about the community. Like, you can't talk about the community and don't start in the beginning, y'all, because you just misleading. If you talk about the ills in the black community and you start with black men not taking care of their kids or black men not being fathers, and you fucked up already. You gotta go to the beginning, and we can start after. You gotta at least start after slavery. You gotta at least start with how was Baltimore even created? How was New Orleans created? How was Detroit created? Like, how did these cities get so ran down? How did it happen? Didn't just happen overnight. That shit was designed that way. It happened through redlining. Gotta start with redlining first, then work your way up to Jim Crow. You know what I mean? Then work your way up to the 60s when it was the black civil rights movement, when we was together and it was families and we owned stores, and we had go back before that where we had Black Wall Street. It was more than one Black Wall Street. What happened? She got burnt down. Then you go back to what I was saying, the 60s, where we was still living in ghettos, but we used to come out and we had pride as people. It was a community. Each one teach one. We coming up together. Then what they do? What happened? Martin Luther King murdered, assassinated. Malcolm X assassinated. Then you got the Black Panthers to say, all right, we're going to pick up where they left off. What happened? Infiltrated COINTELPRO. Arrested unjustly. Killed. Murdered. Then what happened after that? The 80s come around. Now you got the crack epidemic. What comes with the crack epidemic? Money, guns, drugs, violence. Then what happened after that? Here come the 90s. I mean, so now you got a community that was once trying to rise, just took 10 steps back. So what happens is you got a segment of the community making some money. A segment of the community getting high. And then you you start pushing this welfare thing. Pushing it hard. Lied to the women. They lied to them. Told the women that in order for you to receive assistance, that this man can't be there. Wasn't the truth. They can't deny child assistance. They can't deny child assistance. So now the women got a decision to make, because some of us getting money, but some of us is fucking up bad, because this crack shit came out the blue. You know what I mean? That crack shit came out the blue. Ask anybody that was around at that time. It's devastating the community. They ain't never seen nothing like it. You heard me? They ain't seen nothing like it. That shit is turning people into motherfucking thieves, robbers, murderers. Because this new drug that just popped up and they need it. So the women say, man, well, look, fuck. I'm going to choose the check. So then you come back with mass incarceration. Now, guess what? Crack cocaine is 10 times worse than coke. And we're going to elevate the prisons. We're going to elevate the time that you can catch for these charges. And we're going to give you 3 strikes. And we're not going to prodate it. It ain't. I mean, we're gonna prodate it, which means that if you caught 2 cases in the 80s and you catch one after 94, you qualify. Damn, vicious, right? We ain't gonna say starting from now that if you get 3 cases, you get the max. We gonna say no, this shit just forever. So if you was on your second strike in the 80s and you get 1 case in the 90s, Now you're mandatory minimum 25 to life. Bag of chips. Retroactive. Thank you, John. 25 to life. People call life a bag of chips. Eminence. I don't know. I don't think you understand this conversation. We moving up to the future. Yo, these motherfuckers just really fell back, yo, in like the early 2000s. Maybe 2005, 2003. They just really pulled back the clamps on the black community. But now they working on the black women. Right, straight up, Byron. They're doing it to the black women now. They running a major play on the black women. Tell them you don't need a man like they been doing. You know, that ain't nothing new. But they giving them these unrealistic expectations of what a man's supposed to do and what a man's supposed to be. And they trying to say, look, if and they tell, man, yo, it's just so much. Y'all can go on for days, y'all. For real. It's a dirty game. Dirty game. For real. Yeah, man. But I was talking about how Charleston White never talks about this. He's an intelligent man. Charleston White tells people, man, snitch. I support snitching. Yo, what is snitching gonna do? Master Farrakhan said, yo, if you rat out your brother, what the fuck that make you? That's what Master Farrakhan said. If we're gonna take Master Farrakhan word, Charleston word over Master Farrakhan. Because see, that's the thing. They turn snitching into not snitching into a street rule. That's an American rule. America don't respect the snitch. That shit ain't got nothing to do with the streets. That shit is about integrity. Because I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of these guys that's rats be the same guys robbing old folks. They be the same guys shooting in the crowds, hitting babies. They the same people. Same guys that be trying to fuck with your girl behind your back. Same guys that be sneak dissing. That's why we frowned upon rats. FBG Butter. Remember FBG Butter was going around dealing with FBG Trigger baby mother? Remember that was his girl at one point? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember FBG Butter girl was FBG Trigger baby mother? How the fuck that happened? That was his man, right? With his FBG Butter, a rat. So only certain people move like that, man. Remember what he said? He shot into the he shot Rich Homie Klein barbershop, my father barbershop up. Then he said he shot up clubs and shit. What is what? A rat. I'm just trying to get y'all to see what the fuck really going on, man. But they trying to push it off to the streets because so many people is against the streets. It's an easy target. The streets is low hanging fruit. We can blame the streets, but nobody is blaming what makes the streets. So as long as people are blaming the streets, we ain't never gonna get to the real problem. Cause the real problem ain't the streets. The real problem is what makes the streets. The real problems is the situations, the circumstances that makes the streets. We gotta fix that. Because people change. People change with the environment, man. That's what evolution was. It's the same thing. People change with the environment. If the environment improves, people gonna improve. Over time, it's science. But whenever it got something to do with black people, they don't want to use science no more. But Charleston White pushing that shit and black people repeating it. Black people repeating it. Lock them up. Like, locking people up. If y'all notice, they locking up black kids now. Yeah, y'all. People improve with the environment. That's a fact. Well, hell yeah. Opportunity changes, man. That's the only thing. Only thing stop crime is opportunity. You give opportunity, crime goes down. You give resources, crime goes down. Nothing else. You can't lock the problems away when it's the community creating the problems. It's the environment creating the problems. So Charleston White is creating a situation where by pushing his ideology, he's creating a situation where it's just gonna be so many more people going to prison. That's it. Nothing's gonna change though. Nothing's gonna change. It's gonna be more fatherless children. Do people not know what mass incarceration is part of the reason that the black community is in the reason? Yo, I told y'all, the 80s babies, we damn near ain't none of us had fathers. And I'm sure people can vouch. Damn near none of us had fathers, man. It was that bad. I'm talking about it could be a group of 30 of us. It might be 2 fathers. 30 little young kids, it might be 2 fucking fathers. Maybe. And that's a stretch. But it's not like that no more though. But the people that's speaking, they're not even telling this narrative right. Yo, black man got way better with taking care of our kids. And it wasn't because we left. It's because we was forced out. It's because we was manipulated out. We was in prison. We was strung out on drugs. It wasn't because we didn't care about our kids, but that's the narrative that got pushed to the people. That's the narrative that got pushed. The media. The rap music. Man, you already know, bro. And, ain't none of my homeboys, I think out of all of us, it was only one father. He wasn't even in the house. He just was a father, We know him. But he stayed with him, it was just him and his mother now. And his brother. That's how it was back then. But look, they still acting like that's how it is today, and it's not. It's not like that today. Yeah, we still got issues, but it ain't nowhere near as bad as it was back then. My father was getting high. My father stayed out of jail. I ain't start going back around my father till I was old enough to go back around my father. I was able to catch the bus and shit like that. My father was growing up. My father was getting booked, getting high and shit. It was me, my brother, my sister, my mother. And my mother's boyfriend was getting high too. That nigga used to be stealing from us and shit. That nigga stole out Christmas one year. That motherfucker was stealing like a motherfucker, man. Shit used to be fucked up. It was still, I think he was smoking crack or something. There wasn't no real factor in my life. All that nigga did was hurt, for real. All that fucking stealing he was doing. What do you do to stay level? Remain positive. Hell yeah, bro. Yo, we came in the house. We came in the house one year. We had the motherfucker. We just got the Nintendo 64. And my brother, he didn't take everything. He took out Nintendo 64 though. Sold that bitch. We come in the house. We like, yo, what the fuck the game at? Man, this nigga done took the game. He done took the 64. He took my brother coat. What else he took? He took some more shit. But mainly he used to take my mother car all the time. You know what I mean? He used to take my mother car, be gone for months. Now she ain't got no way to work. She catching the bus. Man, that shit used to be a bitch. I used to couldn't stand, yo. My mother, she kept bringing your bitch ass back. I seen that bitch ass nigga too. I just telling my brother about it. I seen yo, right? I'm at the gas station. I'm at the gas station on Ricestown and Park Heights. You know what I mean? Dude, like, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up? He behind me and shit. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yeah, I'm a friend of your mother's. I'm like, oh, what's your name? He wasn't trying to tell me his name, though. Now, look, the last I remember of y'all, because Karma got him. So what happened was, like, all the shit he put us through our whole childhood, he wound up getting hit by a car, beat up real bad, and got hit by a car down on Pennsylvania Avenue. Fucked him up. So last I remember, he was fucked up. So fast forward, this may be like over 10 years later. I mean, I ain't seen yo in years. So this is over 10 years. Last time I seen yo probably was 2002. You know what I mean? So now it's like 2016. I mean, it's 14 years later. But from what I remember, he was fucked up. Like mentally. Like yo was fucked up in the hospital for a long ass time. Sure, he had a long ass recovery process. I thought he was gonna be like that forever. But anyway, I'm at the gas station on Ricestown and at the Hess. This one, it was the Hess gas station on Ricestown and Belvedere. Like, yo, yeah, man, what's up? I'm like, oh, what's up? He's like, yeah, I'm a friend of your mother's. So I'm like, yo, a friend of my mother. So I asked him what his name was. He like, that ain't important. So I ain't paying no mind. I think I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I wasn't really. But as I left, y'all know I'm a thinker. So I was thinking about that shit for days. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, why would Joe say he a friend of my mother, but then don't tell me who he is? Then I thought about it. I said, man, that was your bitch ass. I should have punched him in his mouth. I was mad as shit when I finally came to the conclusion that was him. I started matching his face up and his skin complexion. I'm like, yo, I know that was Joe, man. Damn, I wish I could have punched him in his mouth for all that shit he did to us when we was kids, man. That's what I'm saying, Robio. He was fucked up. That's what I'm saying. Last time I remember, he was fucked up. Like your head, like your head, like he was fucked up, bro. Like I ain't never think yo was gonna get back right. Like yo got beat with a bat. Owed somebody some money down Pennsylvania Avenue. They beat him with a bat. Then he ran and got hit by a car. I thought he was gonna be fucked up forever, but somehow he got back right. But it definitely, I know it was y'all, cause who else could it have been? Why wouldn't you tell me your name? Why would you say you're a friend of my mother, but then don't tell me your name? It had to be yo. I ain't saying yo since. If I ever see him again, I'm punching him in his mouth. Got to. Mandatory. Like this shit is mandatory. Like he deserves that. At the very least. At the very least. For real. Yo, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Y'all appreciate everybody that tapped there. If y'all can't support the platform, let's get to 100 likes, y'all. We at 96. Can we get 4 more likes? Get to 100 likes, man. Think this was a good live. Make sure I hit the Cash App, man. Cash App Baltimore swag, man. Support the movement, man. Yeah, straight up, y'all. Yeah, yo. I'm mad, y'all. I missed that out. So I might not ever see him again. But he definitely deserved to be punched in the motherfucking mouth. For real, at the very least, really needs to be worse than that, yo. Because he put us through hell, yo. And it wasn't directly. He was putting my mother through hell. So it in turn, you know, trickled down to us. But yo used to just stay still, and my mother and that bitch crying. He just took her car. She can't find this nigga. He gone for months. Now she can't get to work. Man, that shit just be crazy, bro, y'all. On top of the other shit we had going on, lights getting cut off. Yeah, my childhood was, you know, it is what it is. Hell yeah. Shit. Hell yeah. Shit, I appreciate everybody that tapped in though, y'all. Y'all know we go live every day at 11 p.m. Eastern time. We probably gonna do a Wack or what? Wack ain't fade nobody. Wack still on J Diggs a fade. He probably been ducking J Diggs for 2 years. That man ain't fade nobody. If Wack was gonna fade anybody, he could have faded Big U. All Big U want to do is break his jaw, y'all. Like that's it. Like you, just little jaw breaking. You feel me? His little jaw breaking. That's all it was. I don't understand why the fuck he was ducking him. Why he was so scared of him. Yo, Big U was funny as shit. Yo made that shit very clear. Like yo, I gotta break Wack 100 jaw. That's all he wanted to do. If he could have broke Wack 100 jaw and went to prison, he probably have been cool. Mission complete. I mean, I could do life in prison now. As long as his jaw is broken momentarily, I am fine. Hey, yo, Wack 100 scared as death of that boy, man. Hey, yo, but I appreciate y'all as always, man. I'm out, man.